Alas 7 pa lang, gising na ang phone ko. May bagong post na naman, keyboard warrior mode na ako. Kapit Facebook ang almusal, feed ko'y umaapaw sa opinion at analysis. Walang atras sa bande, sige sabay-sabay. Lahat ng nakakita, may kulay na pula o dilaw. Lahat ng balita may agenda, hindi na ako naliligaw. Ilang scroll pa ba? Ilang debate pa? Sige ibato mo lang, tatanggapin kong lahat. Ilang point pa ba? Ilang argument pa? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Di ko maintindihan. Political addict, wala addict sa politika. Buhay ko'y eleksyon, walang neutral na punto. Saan ka man tumingin, gobyerno ang may kasalanan. Kahit sa maliit na bagay may plot twist, may kaliwat kanan. Di ko na makita, di ko na makita, di ko na makita ang reality ko nakasabit sa politika. Ang ulan ng traffic, hindi lang yan ordinaryo. Yan ay failure ng sistema, ng administrasyon ng tao. Ang kulay sa palengke, mahal, may conspiracy yan sa likod ng bawat presyo. May scheme na nakatago lang, huwag kang salita. Ang kapitbahay, hinahanap kung affiliation. Tatak niyang hinahanap, hindi ang pure information. Ilang scroll pa ba? Ilang debate pa? Sige ibato mo lang, tatanggapin kong lahat. Ilang point pa ba? Ilang argument pa? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Di ko maintindihan. Political addict, wala addict sa politika. Buhay ko'y eleksyon, walang neutral na punto. Sa kaman tumingin, gobyerno ang may kasalanan. Kahit sa maliit na bagay may plot twist, may kaliwat kanan. Di ko na makita, di ko na makita, di ko na makita ang new reality ko nakasabit sa politika. Sabi ni mama, anak, kumain ka na muna, di puro debate. Sabi ko ay ma-ignorant lang ang walang state ang may nakawari. Kaya pa yung gutom sa sikmura, gutom lang nga talaga. Di pala ikaw na may palisi, ang dahilan simpleng rest lang pala. Yung luha sa mukha ng kaibigan, di tungkol sa reform. Nasaktan lang pala siya, human emotion, hindi political storm. Political addict, addict sa politika. Buhay ko'y eleksyon, walang neutral na punto. Saan ka man tumingin, gobyerno ang may kasalanan. Kahit sa maliit na bagay may plot twist, may kaliwat kanan. Di ko na makita, di ko na makita ang reality ko nakasabit sa politika. Addict, addict, political addict. Political addict. Di ko na makita, di ko na makita, di ko na makita.
Yo, shoutout sa inyong lahat. O, ito, ano, part 2. Ay, mali yata ito. Tama naman ah. Nyi. Dito tayo. Simula. Maganda yung pino-point out dito ng ng defense, yun yung pino-point out ko eh. Ang kulit nga eh, parang ako yung nandun ah.
Prosecution, we are ready, Your Honor.
Lugi ah.
For the respondent,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the defense.
I see that Attorney LOTOC is already situated in the witness
Yes, Your Honor.
stand. To remind you, Attorney LOTOC, you shall continue.
Naalala yung sinabi ko yung cherry picking, yung pick and choose yung ginagawa niya, na ito paniniwalaan niya, tapos ito hindi mo papaniwalaan. So, ang ginawa ng defense, tinest siya doon. So, lumabas nga na cherry picking, na pick and choose. Yung point ko, yun din yung ginawa ng defense. Nanonood data sa yung defense. Aray ko.
With your testimony.
Same tactics, di ba? Same tactics, gagi. Pero mas magaling to doon sa doon sa nauna. Mas magaling tong isang to. Magulo yung isa magulo.
Be subjected to the continuation of cross-examination of counsel for respondent and shall be
Hindi ko na tuloy nakapag part 2.
answering under the same oath that you took.
Susubukan ko tapusin to hanggang sa defense niya. Pucha, ang haba pala, no? So, mga 10 oras tayo ito. Kaya nyo ba? 10 oras, guys? Okay.
Yesterday. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Respondent counsel may now continue with this cross-examination. Attorney Lutuan, you are recognized and may proceed whenever you are ready.
Your Honor, before we proceed, may I request that counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized once more for the examination of our second witness.
Salamat,
Counsel for the
Hejin ko.
prosecutors, Attorney Ligutan is recognized on the part of the panel of prosecutors. Again, to
Actually, hindi
reiterate,
ko
Attorney
napanood.
Lutuan, when
May
you're
konti
ready,
lang ako napanood pero hindi ko napanood
you
yung
may proceed with the continuation of your cross-examination of the witness, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon,
Wag lang sana manood din yung prosec na makakuha ng idea sa'yo kayo.
Attorney Lotok. Good afternoon, sir. So yesterday, you identified videos, correct? Yes, sir. And specifically, portions of the November 23, 2024 press con. Yes, sir. All right. Now, in that press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics. Correct? All right. In other words,
Mr. Witness, kindly answer yes.
Yes, sir.
Not simply say,
in other words,
Sorry, Your Honor.
she said many statements in that press con.
She said many statements, sir.
All right, my question is this. Do you know for sure that VP Sara's statements during that press con happened in real life?
Apakalino ng question niya. Well, attorney rin kasi yung attorney kasi yung NBI Apakalinaw naman Yung sinabi niya bang ito is nangyari in real life? Or, di ba? Kasi, well, it implies na kagad yung sinabi is nangyari na talaga. Kasi sinabi nga niya Yung sinabi ni VP na ito, nangyari ba in real life? Ang gusto sabihin ng witness ni Lotok, attorney Lotok, na yes, yung utterance nangyari. Hindi yun yung tanong. Parang tanga.
In real life?
Objection, Your Honor. Incompetent. The statements happening in real life as to the real life of the Vice President, this witness is being...
Alam din ng prosec Alam din ng prosec. Di ba? Gets niya rin Gets niya rin yung question.
Ask that question. Of course, the witness is incompetent, Your Honor, please.
counsel kindly reform. It seems the witness did not understand
Okay,
the question.
let me help you. I'm showing you also a portion of our exhibit D-1-145-A. This is the whole version of the video the portions there that you identified yesterday. And particularly, I'll show you timestamp 51-07 or :07 onwards of the video. In this video, the Vice President mentioned about events that happened inside the Batasang Pambansa. Can we play that video, please?
Dapat sa demokrasya, there's a rule of law. And then they make rules as they go along. Pleases the speaker, get her out of the House of Representatives kasi hindi siya dapat nandiyan. Bakit? Pag mapay-ari niyo ba itong compound na ito, then sasabihin pa nila sa akin na there is a threat to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa?
There's a threat in my life.
Why is there a threat to my life?
Why is there a threat to my life? Threat to my life, ha? Threat to my life.
All right. My question to
Your
you
Honor,
is
Your
this.
Honor, point of clarification, if I may, Your Honor.
Counsel for the prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, there is a video that is marked in evidence capturing the events on November 23, 2024. And here we have the defense.
Your Honor, maybe just
Wait,
no
wait,
objection, Your Honor.
Wait, I'm
This is
explaining.
not a time for lecture, Your Honor.
Ano yung objection nga
Counsel
naman?
have not yet recognized. He'll let counsel for the prosecutor
Your Honor,
finish.
point of clarification, they are presenting a video with anecdotes. I'm not questioning the propriety of the defense presenting a video without laying the basis where this video came from, who is the source of those annotations there too. Because, Your Honor, there's a video. They're confronting this witness with that video by presenting their own annotated, it's like a props, Your Honor, please. This is highly irregular in the court.
Nakikinig nga rin sa akin yata yung prosec gagi. Di ba sinita ko yan? Pero, hindi naman siya invalid. Pwede yun. Kasi actually that's good. That's good. Kasi andyan para makita rin ng tao yung pagkakasabi. Okay naman yan. Yung sinasabi kasi may mga notes, di ba? Gets ko yung objection niya. Pero, a good debater and a good presenter, while doing the defense, is also attacking. Yun yung point ko, right? Kaya good yun. That's a good sign. Preempting the other side. Pero, ayaw niya ng props.
Counsel, for the respondent, is this the video previously marked in evidence?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, we marked it in evidence as D-4-3,
Oo, yan. Oh.
Your Honor. And this was also marked by the prosecution as their own. They have a separate
No.
marking for this, Your
No.
Honor.
This is part of the
No.
2-hour and so-and-so minute video?
Correct, Your Honor. At any rate, Your
Your
Honor,
Honor.
if I may be
Counsel
allowed
for
to
the
finish.
prosecutor, kindly hold on.
At any rate, Your Honor,
Counsel for the respondent,
Okay.
the chair is not yet done. And the annotation below the video, is that part of the marked video?
this is part, Your Honor, of a separate exhibit that is also part of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G, Your Honor. This is Mr. Calilong's own transcription of the video, just to be clarified. on
But
that
who
matter.
put it there?
We just placed it there, Your Honor. So we're making him identify actually the video as well as the appropriate transcription, which are both part of the Articles of Impeachment and Annex G9.
Presiding officer will allow it. Witness may answer.
Oh. Allowed. Pwede yun. Okay lang yun.
So the question is, can you confirm for certain that these statements or any part thereof happened in real life?
Okay na yung momentum kanina na ano kasi na objection eh. Nag-object kasi. Ang ganda ng question niya kanina eh. Yung pagkaka-stop ng video, nawala yung momentum eh. Yung pagkaka-stop ng video, na why is there a threat to my life in this, di ba? Why is there a threat to my life? And then yung sinabi niya, stop, na para pinay-stop niya doon, tapos ang question niya, did this happen in real life? Ngayon, nawala na ngayon sa memory yon kasi nagkaroon ng mga sagutan, may palitan na. So, nawala yung momentum. Sayang. Sayang defense.
Can you give me the timestamp, Your Honor, para ma-compare ko siya?
Unang-una, yung prosecutor kanina, di ba, sabi niya, incompetent daw sumagot kapag kung nangyari sa real life. Right? Right? So, ngayon, kung ang point dito is incompetent, ibig sabihin, gets ng prosecutor kung ano yung tinatanong ng defense. Tinatanong ng defense is, nangyari ba tong statement na to, itong claim na ito sa statement na to, hindi yung video, hindi yung salita, nangyari talaga yan. Kasi dyan nga nagaling eh. Pero ang question is, yung claim ba na niya yon, yung statement ba na yon, is nangyari sa real life? Totoo ba yon? Right? Oh, to.
Timestamp 51-07.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
You may do so, sir.
Anong timestamp, sir?
5107.
To help this honorable court, Your Honor, it appears on page 84 or more or less of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9, Your Honor. This is the transcription of Agent John Mark Calilong dated December 26, 2024. For the record, Your Honor.
Noted.
Pero ko patingin na. Timestamp 51.
Confront the witness with our own copy. Next G9, Your Honor.
Well, assisting counsel for the prosecutor is there if in case.
Wala rin siya.
Yeah. 14 of the affidavit of transcription.
Page 14.
On the transcript. Your Honor, I manifest that we are showing that specific portion on the transcript prepared by Agent Calilong of the NBI. But actually, Your Honor, even without consultation with the transcript, my answer is very simple. I'm just asking, Your Honor. My question, I'm sorry, is very simple. My only question is, does he know for certain that these statements or any part of this statement
Pabigat na pabigat, mali eh. Nilagyan mo na ng certain na salita. Lalong bumigat yung question mo. Nagkaroon ng kulay yung question. So, nung una, ang sabi mo, are you aware or did this happen in real life? Right? So, ngayon, yung nag-object, ang question lang is kung nangyari yan, tapos pinano yung transcript, and then ngayon, for certain. Mahirap isagot yung certain. So, nagkaroon ng problem sa languaging na hindi niya nagawa yung purpose niya actually. Hindi niya nagawa yung purpose, yung goal niya. Kasi ang gusto niya lang mapatunayan dito is, okay, kung naniniwala ka sa sinabi niya tungkol doon sa grave threat kamo, naniwala ka doon, bakit hindi ka naniwala dito? Ba't di ka naniwala dito? Ba't di ka naniwala dito sa sinabi niya to? Okay, kung yan ay real lahat yan, totoo yan lahat na sinabi niya, if we are to believe the Vice President, kung lahat ng sinabi niya, bakit yun lang part na yon yung pinaniniwalaan mo, hindi yung ibang part. Yun lang yung gusto niya i-point out dito eh. Nagets nyo, right?
Happened in real life.
Your Honor, nabasa ko po rito sa copy ko, yung nandiyan dyan.
So do you confirm that the statements were made by the Vice President, Mr. Witness?
It's here in the transcription, Your Honor, yes.
No. My question is not whether she made the statement. My question is if you know, based on your personal knowledge, if any statement or a portion thereof happened in real life. That's the question.
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we have the video on November 26, when the Vice President reiterated what she uttered in November 23, 2024.
Your Honor, I'm not even...
At the same time, Your Honor,
No, ang tanong, nangyari ba in real life? Kasi lahat yung statements pa rin eh.
Maybe
Witness is in the process of
Allow the
answering.
witness to answer.
Your Honor, we invited the media personalities who have personal knowledge on that
Ang
date
layo ng sagot mo.
and on that online press conference. And nung tinanong namin sila kung nag-participate sila, sabi nila yes. Nakausap nila yung Vice Presidente, nagbigay sila ng mga katanungan. So definitely yes, nangyari po yun.
Alin ang nangyari? Ito hindi, itong part na to. Ang sinasabi kung nangyari. Ito. Kaya nga may props eh. Kaya nga may props eh. Ito, dito ka lang sumagot. Yan, yung frame na yan. In any of this, alam nyo ba kung nangyari yan in real life o hindi?
Your Honor, may manifest, Your Honor, make a manifestation.
Yes, Counsel.
Your Honor, it appears that the witness is not being responsive to our question. He's talking about something that I did not ask. We are only focusing on this particular statement. We will show other statements
Dito lang. Ayan lang oh.
later on. And we cannot get an answer from him if he knows.
Counsel, even I am confused with the question happened in real life. I think some of us are too.
Actually, you're not. Kasi nag-gets nung prosec.
I'll be more specific,
If
Your
the
Honor.
question is kung alam nyo ba ang totoong nangyari to sa totoong buhay, ang sagot ng testigo ay sa pagkakaalam niya ay oo, base sa kanilang investigasyon at sinabi ng mga inimbitahan nilang testigo.
All right. I'll clarify the question, Your
Kindly
Honor.
do so, Counsel.
All right. In the statement, for example, the Vice President said there were threats to my life inside.
Yun, di ba? Yun lang yung gusto niya sabihin eh. Yun lang kasi gusto niya point out eh. There were threats to my life. Why are they threats to my life? Right?
Batasang pambansa. Are you confirming that?
That is within the
All right.
transcription here, sir.
Now, my question to you is this. Did you investigate those threats
Objection,
to VP
Your Honor.
Sara's...
Okay, now.
I'm not yet done.
All right,
I'm
sige.
not yet done.
Yes,
Counsel,
yes. So.
Did you investigate the threat to VP Sara's life during that time?
Objection. Now, misleading, Your Honor.
What
To be honest, nalito din ako dyan nung una. Hindi kasi nga merong sabi ko na wala kasing momentum eh. Pero kung doon siya nag-start doon sa pagkaka-play niya kanina, yung unang-unang bira niya, sabay hindi nag-object, malinaw eh. Malinaw.
Because the question was, do you confirm that that statement is found in the transcription as to the Vice President saying that there were threats to her life? And then the witness said, yes, I confirm that I can find it in the transcription. Now the next question of the good counsel is, so did you investigate the threat? That is the classic misleading question.
Can we get the
It's not. It's not a misleading question. Kasi yan naman yung tanong kanina pa. Nasa transcript yan, right? Okay, sinabi niya yan, right? Okay, the question is, nangyari ba yan in real life? May threat ba talaga sa buhay niya in real life? Yun yung point. Kasi may claim kasi si VP na, why are there threats to my life? Did you investigate na real yung threat sa buhay niya? Kasi sinabi niya, inatter niya eh. Sinabi niya rin kasama sa statement, di ba? Did you investigate kung totoo yun o hindi? Yun yung question.
Your Honor.
Counsel, he's a lawyer.
Pag nagigits na biglang mag-object si Prosec,
Attorney LOTOC is a lawyer and he knows exactly what's going on. Attorney LOTOC, kindly answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your answer?
What's the question, sir?
The question is, she mentioned there about the threats to his life. My question is simple. Did you investigate the threats to VP Sara's life during that time?
You mean during the live stream, sir?
During that time, correct. During that live stream. She mentioned that there were threats to her life.
Well, based on our investigation, nangyari yung live stream between 11 p.m. 22 to 1 a.m. 23. And then nalaman namin through nung kumalat siya sa social media ng mga hapon na, kaya nag-start kami ng investigation. At that time, hindi pa namin alam yung buong laman ng video na yan kasi nag-start pa lang kami. So, I instructed Agent Kalilong na siya maging agent on case and then kunin niya yung video, the whole video para sa authentication.
pero hindi, kasi bago pa to, yan muna bago yung pupuntahan nyo sa impeachment yung sa grave threat kuno right? Nauna to So di ba dapat ito muna imbestigahan nyo? That doesn't make any sense, actually.
Attorney
And
LOTOC,
so far-
kindly answer the question directly. So I get from your long answer that the answer is no.
Specifically at that live stream moment, no, sir. Hindi pa
That
namin
was the
alam yun, sir.
question of Attorney Binluan. If you investigated at that time, so the answer is no.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But,
please proceed.
but later on, you said you did an investigation. So are you admitting that there were threats to the life of VP Sara?
Precisely, that's the reason why we sent a December 2, 2024 letter for VP Sara to shed light on our investigation.
All right, I'll move on to a different part of the video. On page also of Exhibit D-1-
Naglaan sila ng letters kay VP to shed light. Importante yun mamaya.
145-A. This now pertains to timestamp 5930 onwards of the video recording. So page 15 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong of the NBI, dated December 26, 2024. Can we show that video and then provide the appropriate transcript? Can you play that again, please?
Yung speaker mo, pinabayaan mo siya.
Ito, ano to? Rhetorics to. Kasi gusto niyang ilagay sa position ng awkward. Pagiging awkward position. Gusto niya ilagay sa awkward position yung witness. Kaya ito, natawa ako dito eh.
Abusuhin ang pera.
Kasi alam mo ba't ako natawa? Naalala niyo yung debate namin ni Melo Yap. Lahat ng tao ay sinungaling, right? Pinakita ko sa kanya si Rafi Tulfo, si Fiscal EJ, si Atty. Villamor. Tama? Hindi siya makasagot, right? Yun yung gustong gawin ng lawyer. yung ginawa ko kay Melo Yap. Naalala niyo yung debate namin? Sabi ko, lahat ng tao ay sinungaling. Pinakita ko ngayon si Rafi Tulfo sa kanya. Sinungaling ba yan? Hindi siya makasagot, right? Kasi ang awkward na sabing oo. Ang awkward din naman sabing hindi. Bakit? Pag sabi mong hindi, edi hindi lahat ng tao sinungaling. Pag sabi mo namang oo, position mo hindi sinungaling si Rafi Tulfo. That doesn't make any sense. Yan yung gusto niyang gawin. Kung ano yung ginawa ko kay Melo Yap sa debate namin, yun yung gustong gawin ng lawyer. Okay?
Yan, speaker mo, pinabayaan mo siya abusuhin ang pera.
Yung baby daw ang sinungaling, sabi ni Em.
Ng bayan. Paikot-ikot sa buong bansa, namimigay ng pera na para bang kanya.
Sinabi niya rin yan. So, if we're going to be, wag tayo mag-pick and choose, right? Wag tayo mag-pick and choose. So, lahat ng sinabi niya dyan, let's assume it's true. Kasi, kapag hindi mo in-assume it's true, then, ang problema, idol ka nga ni Binluan, boss kayo. Ang problema, kapag ang ginawa is, hindi mo siya in-assume as true, then what makes you think na yung sinasabi yung grave threat is true? So, kailangan mo i-assume lahat na true. That's the only way to do it. Unless ang awkward na parang, okay, what justifies na ito pinili mo, pero ito hindi? How do you distinguish between the two? Problem. Right?
Yung pera. Di ba nga, lagi niyo sinasabi separation of powers. Anong trabaho ng legislative branch? Gumawa ng batas. Anong ginagawa ni Martin Romualdez? Nagdidire ng DSWD? Namimigay ng ayuda? Nagsasabi kung anong bibigay, anong gagawin, sino ba ang presidente?
All right.
Okay.
So my question to you is this. Okay, having watched that video and read the transcript, my question is very simple. Do you know for sure if this statement by the Vice President or any part thereof happened in real life?
Well, Your Honor, as I've said, answered already, nung inimbestigahan namin yan, yung video,
Your Honor,
nagpila kami sa-
yes or no?
See? Ang awkward kasi. Ang awkward kasi nung tanong. Yung spot niyang attorney niyan ngayon, yun yung spot ni Melo Yap nung tinanong ko siyang sinungaling ba yan. Kasi lahat ng tao ay sinungaling daw eh. Okay, kung lahat ng tao ay sinungaling, pinakita ko sa kanya si Rafi Tulfo. Ay, hindi lang doon. Pinakita ko rin yung baby. Sinungaling ba yan? Ang awkward. Di ba? Parang, how can I even answer that? It's so awkward. Pero if I actually follow my logic, I follow your logic, sabihin mo dapat, oo, sinungaling yan. Then i-explain mo kung bakit.
Answer will suffice, Your Honor.
Kindly answer more directly to save on the court's time, Mr. Attorney Lotoc.
Your Honor, based on our investigation, yes, it happens. In the natural order of things, nangyari talaga yan.
So in other words, you're admitting that Martin Romualdez goes around the country to distribute money?
I'm saying nangyari ho yung utterances na yan.
That's not my question.
Oh, see? Natural. Tama, ano yun?
Investigation, yes, it happens. In the natural order of things, nangyari talaga yan.
Natural order of things, nangyari talaga yan. Ano yun, yung pagkasalta? Awkward. Ano daw? Word yung pailalim na tingin. Sorry, judgmental lang ako. Oh,
Given the court's time, Mr. Attorney Lotoc.
Your Honor, based on our investigation, yes, it happens. In the natural order of things, nangyari talaga.
oh. Based on our investigation, it happens. It happened. Natural things, order of things. Ha? Ang alin yung statement?
Talaga yan.
So in other words, you're admitting that Martin Romualdez goes around the country to distribute money?
I'm saying nangyari ho yung utterances na yan.
That's not my question.
Palusot. Naiintindihan mo kanina yung question eh. Naiintindihan lahat ng question.
Precisely my point. I'm not asking if she made the statements. I'm asking if the truth of these statements you have personal knowledge of. So be more direct in your answer.
That's why I have to object now, Your Honor. Now,
Oh. Sabi tingin sa prosec eh. Ang awkward. Sir, ang awkward ng tanong. Ang awkward.
several statements made, and then the witness is being asked, do you confirm the statements? Compound question. Exactly, that's the reason why we don't allow. There's so many statements o sinasabi gumawa ng batas. So siguro yung tanong is
Palusot.
this happen? Did this happen in real life? So this witness being confronted with several
Hirap pa talaga sagutin. Dapat sagot doon, hindi. Kasi, ang hinahanap actually ng prosec, ng defense, is sabihin mong hindi. Hindi namin alam. Well, we don't have personal knowledge if that happened. Did you investigate it? Of course not. Okay. Ngayon kasi, ang natural order of things, kapag nag-no ka doon, isusunod sa iyo ngayon yung nuclear doon sa mismong statement in question. Yung pag pinatay ako, papatayin silang tatlo. Yung si First Lady, si PBBM, tsaka si Romualdez, right? Yun yung pupuntahan mo nun eh. Yun yung pupuntahan mo nun eh. Inevitably, doon ka pupunta. Ngayon, ang awkward ng position mo doon. Dahil, okay, kung sinasabi mong you don't have personal knowledge, if you don't know if that happened in real life, how did you know this happened in real life? That's the natural order of things. Right? Yun ang pupuntahan mo. Pero yes, ang sinabi mo, kasi dalawa yung nasa isip niya eh. Pag sinabi ko kasing no, yari ako dun sa side ng KVP. Pag sinabi ko namang yes, napagtanggol ko naman yung yes dito, pero awkward naman sabihin, oo, nangyari yan. Nagets nyo? Kasi dalawa yung witness, dalawang problema yung sinosolve niya at the same time. Okay, dalawa yung sinosolve niya eh. Okay, nasa isip niya, back of his mind, na kailangan ako mag-yes para ma-justify ko yung sa grave threat. Okay? So, it's either yes or no. Right? Yes or no. Pag sinabi kong yes, that happened in real life, hindi na pagtanggol ko yung grave threat. Right? That happened in real life too. Kasi ngayon, consistent ngayon sagot ko. Pag yes sagot ko dito, yes din sagot ko dito. So, napagtanggol ko. The problem is, kapag sinabi kong yes dito, ang awkward. Bakit? So, totoo yan? Nangyari yan? So, totoo yung may threat si VP? Sarah, did you investigate it? Okay, so totoo rin yung and round we go. Actually, ang finifish ng defense dyan ay yung no. Kaso, mapupunta ka sa absurdity kasi gusto mong pagtanggol yung yes. Kasi the only way na ipagtanggol mo yung grave threat is to say yes. The problem is, if you say yes, mapupunta ka sa absurdity. Kasi lahat ng itatanong niya na sa'yo dyan, na mga awkward position, yes, dapat sagot mo. Which is weird. Right? Yun lang yung explanation doon.
statements and he is being asked to answer a yes or no. That's why it's compound question.
Your Honor, my question is the statements or any part thereof, Your Honor. That the witness is smart enough to answer. He can just clarify.
The objection, the objection is sustained, but not on that ground, but rather on the ground that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter stated by the Vice President. He can only
And then, he could have answered that way. I'm incompetent. Awkward din, di ba? Actually, I'm not the competent person. I'm incompetent to answer that question. Good! So if you are incompetent, let's apply that on the subject at hand. Still awkward, but okay. Sacrifice pa si Tambi.
testify as to the fact that those statements were made only as to tenor, but not as to the truth, given that he only investigated and was not there. You may proceed, counsel.
In that case, Your Honor, if we confront
Galing mo talaga, kahit talino mo, kaya idol kita.
also, just a manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
In other words, Your Honor, we would like to manifest, Your Honor, based on that
Kahit nga, awkward eh.
ruling of the court, that even if VP Sara said that she already talked to a person, then we cannot confirm the truth because this witness does not have personal knowledge.
That's a conclusion.
Oo, hindi conclusion yon. Following the logic. Kasi ito, hindi yung
In
conclusion.
that case, Your Honor, if we confront also, just a manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
In other words,
Kasi ang sabi kasi ni Cheese is, he is incompetent to answer that question. He investigated it, but he doesn't have personal knowledge of it. So, he is incompetent to answer the truth question, but he investigated it. So, nag-push back ngayon yung defense. Sabi ng defense, well, okay, if we are going to apply that kind of logic or rationale, then, hindi niya rin pwedeng gawin yon kay VP Sara. Doon sa pag-hire ng, yung pagko-contract ng assassin. Kasi he doesn't have personal knowledge of it. Well, he investigated it.
Honor, we would like to manifest, Your Honor, based on that ruling of the court, that even if VP Sara said that she already talked to a person, then we cannot confirm the truth because this witness does not have personal knowledge.
That's a conclusion.
That's just a manifestation for the court's appreciation. Can I just proceed with
Can I
my
make
next
a
question,
counter
Your Honor?
manifestation, Your Honor, please? Counter manifestation, please. To put into record, Your Honor, please.
For about 15 seconds, counsel.
Okay,
Yes.
the defense is entitled to their own conception of things. They're entitled to their own imagination. That's all.
Counsel may proceed with his cross.
Just to belabor this point, Your Honor, Annex D-1-145-A.
Okay.
Anyway, Your Honor, they showed around...
Ito na naman, titest niya na naman. So, nag-yes na kanina, natural order of things. And then yung pagkakasabi yung utterance. So,
7 to 8 videos
Umatras.
yesterday, so we'll show about 4. This pertains to timestamp 1-08-58, and we will also present page 17 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Calilong, dated December 26, 2024. In this video clip, the Vice President mentioned about the former Speaker of the House and the confidential funds of the Office of the President. Can we play that video?
Hindi ka dumadaan ng contest eh. Kasi wala kang kalaban sa Tacloban. Kasi binibili mo, pinapakidnap mo, hinaharas mo, ang mga kalaban mo.
oh, totoo kaya yung mga yon. Ang awkward! Ang awkward, di ba?
Hindi ka dumaan ng contest. Ang alam mo lang, kasi mayaman ka, bibili mo lahat ng tao ng pera.
See? Ang awkward, di ba? Yari siya dyan.
Ibubuliman mong tanan, kwarta na may inyo. There is nothing in you except money. Yan lang.
Kasi ang pupuntahan niya lang dyan, ganito no? Hindi naman pwedeng either or yan. Kasi false dichotomy yon. So, pwede naman siya mag-third option. Like for example, magkakaroon ng hasty generalization pag sinabi ko pag nag-yes ako dito, then yes doon. So, we should treat every claim uniquely, right? Okay. So ngayon, you are forced to justify naman ngayon, ano pagkakaiba nitong threat na to sa buhay daw ni VP Sara and sa yung sinasabi na nag-contract ng assassin kapag namatay siya, papatay 3. What's the difference? You have to justify it then. Right?
Martin, harapin mo yung katotohanan. Walang, senador man, vice president man, president man, ano mo sa'yo? Hindi ko nga alam kung mananalo ka pa ngayon sa Tacloban eh. Malamang hindi na. Sinong gusto sa lahat sa buong Pilipinas ang ibalik ka sa Kongreso? Hindi lahat ng tao pupunta yan doon sa Tacloban, mahangamtaan niya yan sa kalaban mo. Kasi, wag nanakaw ka.
Oh, yung magnanakaw. Ang awkward nun. So, totoo ba 'yon?
information lang ang kailangan. Pero nagkukumpay ako. Bigyan niyo lahat ng resibo. Pero ikaw, pirma mo lang, kinuha ata pirma yan, pirma lang ng staff mo yan.
Oh. Iyak.
Milyon-milyon dyan sa committee on accounts. Lumalabas ang pera. Pirma niyo lang. Walang audit sa inyo. Sino ang nag-audit? Confidential funds ng Office of the President. Wala.
Salamat, Michiko. Michiko Yoshi.
Yan ang Pilipinas. Yan! Bagong Pilipinas. Kriminal ang speaker.
Totoo rin ba yun? Criminal lang speaker.
Bakit ko nasabi kriminal siya? Basahin niyo yung kaso niya sa United States of America.
Well, technically, hindi niya naman kaso yun. Nabanggit lang siya.
Okay.
Sinungaling, Presidente.
All right. Again, my question based on this video is very simple. She spoke about Speaker Martin Romualdez as well as the President. Can you confirm or do you know for sure that these statements about Martin Romualdez or the
Ang
President
awkward, di ba?
are true?
Okay. Your Honor, I will object on the same
Incompetent ulit. Oh.
ground,
Yeah,
and
Yossi.
I hope that the presiding officer will do the same ruling. This witness is incompetent. I know what the defense is doing. Your Honor, objection. Incompetent. This witness is highly incompetent as to whether he knows whether those statements are in fact
What's the ground for
happening.
the objection? Can we just
Tatanong ko dyan, are you incompetent to answer this question? Ay, dapat tinanong ko na. Okay.
be informed of the ground for the objection?
I just said it. Incompetent. This
Can
witness
we
is
get a ruling, Your
incompetent.
Honor?
Chair made an earlier ruling already that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter. But since Attorney Lotoc, you're a lawyer, I will give it this time to the counsel for the respondents. Kindly respond.
Halata ka, Chis, ah. May gusto kang malaman doon tungkol doon sa kay Romualdez,
Since you're a lawyer, you should know the proper answer to this question. Kindly respond to the question of counsel.
Ikaw, Chis,
Again, I
Humisigo
don't know
ka,
personally about the factual circumstances. What I know is that she uttered those statements.
We're satisfied with that answer, no?
Oh,
Your Honor.
tama naman yung sagot.
One last
Proceed,
video. One last video. On page 87
Ito na yun.
of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9. This is timestamp 1-12-43. This is quite a lengthy video, but not as lengthy. But this is our last video, so we beg the court's indulgence. The affidavit of transcription, page 17, also of Agent Parcalilong, dated December 26, 2024. Are we ready with that video?
Your Honor, to save
Counsel.
Ito na yung nuclear. Dito niya na ibabagsak. Kasi makikita mo kasi yung difference eh. Yung sagot niya, utterances, hindi yung fact of the hindi niya utterances, puro ganun yung sagot niya, right? Yun yung sagot niya eh. Pero magbabago yun dito sa tanong na to. Doon mo malalaman na parang, how does that follow? Let's go.
For the prosecutors.
because I know the counsel will ask the same question. So to save time, Your Honor, please, since the
Your Honor,
counsel-
what is
wait,
the
wait,
objection?
I'm not done.
Kindly let the counsel for the prosecutor finish.
Relax. Now, Your Honor, if the same line of question will be asked, okay.
Your
the
Honor,
wait, I'm not
he
yet
cannot-
done.
he cannot
I'm not
preempt,
yet
Your
done.
Honor.
I'm not yet done. The prosecution is willing to stipulate that yes, the Vice President uttered that statement as to the fact of her uttering the statement.
We have a different question, Your Honor, just to satisfy his query.
All right.
So I guess the objection is withdrawn, or the manifestation is withdrawn, and
Ito na yung question mismo. Dito, dapat yun din ang sagot niya. Utterances lang din.
counsel for respondent may proceed.
Play the
The
video, please.
showing of the playing of the video.
At nang kainin ko, busit. Dito sa House of Representatives. Alak. Lahat. Lahat ng juice, lahat ng mamahaling wine. Ito rin taong bayan. Yung taong bayan na pinamisan ninyo, 20 pesos na rice. Yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila. Ano sabi nila? Asin lang, okay na mi. Anad naman mi, anak. Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Saan ka nakahanap ng bayan na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning government, umukay na lang sa asin. Buti na nga lang, abogado si Atty. Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga pumasok. sa kwarto niya. Na-take note, nagnakaw pa ng cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao.
Ayan na.
Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Naririnig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much nga po pala sa dala niyong hopya nung hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Cardema. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay lang
Nag-aalala po
po,
kami.
ma'am, kasi sila naman Sila talaga yung bastos eh. You reap
Opo,
what you
okay.
sow.
Yeah. Mag-ingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin or yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balakin in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday Crew, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Eh ano po kaya ang remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon or ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito? Lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power na.
Yes. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao.
Ito na yung mismong point, right? Ito na mismo yung subject.
Sabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil ha, hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa Makabayan Law nung mayor pa ako. Ang laban, wala dyan sa EDSA, ma'am. Wala dyan sa mga highway. Ang laban, ma'am, nandun sa loob ng palasyo. Yan ang problema. We appreciate yung expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness, kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon. Alam ko yan, ma'am, kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang sinasabihan, binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo, iboto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat
Wala
sa
mang
ginagawa
tema yung
ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo,
kay
I'm sure
Dr.
nakita
galing
yan ang taong bayan. And na-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno. Hindi ba dapat yung gobyerno natin ang nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao? Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang
Forward na
nagpapagaan
natin,
lang? Pero kami sa
It's in that portion of
Yes,
the
sir.
video.
alam.
Attorney Lotoc, she said a lot of statements in that portion of
Yes,
the
sir.
video. In fact, that statement included the statement which you investigated, correct?
Including
Yeah.
the transcription, sir. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Now you get the point. My question to you is this. Can you confirm now that the statement she made about BBM, FL, and the former
Happened in
speaker
real life.
and the congressman relating to various acts of corruption are true and happened in real life?
As to the existence of that utterances, yes, sir.
All right. So you just admitted that the congressmen are all corrupt.
As to the
Thank you for that.
existence
Thank you
of
for that
the
correction.
utterances, yes, sir.
That is a foul side remark.
She said
the
I wasn't
counsel
the one
is
who said it, Your
twisting
Honor.
the answer of the witness. If I may, can I
was the one who
finish?
said yes.
Counsel
Can I
for the
finish?
parties, kindly settle down.
Oh, hindi. Stroma naman yon. Ano, defense. Defense. Stroma naman yon. Kasi ang pagkakasabi is the existence of the utterances. Yun yung sinabi ng witness. Stroma naman. Wag mo na maipush ng ganon. alam ko yung gusto mong sabihin. Alam ko yung gusto mong i-point out. Gusto mong ismuggle yon. Pero stroman yun, pre. Ang sinabi ng witness, as far as the utterance is concerned, yes.
Finish.
The witness said that he confirmed as to the fact that the utterances
Oo.
were made.
That's why, Your Honor, I'm objective.
Kindly be more specific. You, Attorney Lotoc, you know what's being asked for.
Yes, sir.
Finish and complete your answer to avoid the misunderstanding.
Well,
Oh, di ba? Kasi nga, iniiba mo yung salita naman din kasi, yung witness naman kasi.
Based on our investigation, as to the existence of that utterances, yeah, dahil may mga pieces of evidence kami. But whether or not nangyari yan, wala ho akong personal knowledge, sir.
Alright. In the
Oo.
same way,
Walang personal knowledge kung nangyari yan.
you also do not have personal knowledge that VP Sara contracted an assassin, correct?
Your Honor,
Correct.
the video dated November 26, 2024, the Vice President
Just-
reiterated
just
and
answerable.
emphatic-
Oh, no. Tama, see? Nakita nyo na. Nakita nyo yung inconsistency. Yes, if we are going to apply the logic, then you don't have personal knowledge as well. As far as the utterances is concerned, yes, that utterance exists. Yun lang ang pwede mo sabihin. Hindi ka pwede mag-jump to conclusion, hindi ka pwedeng may hidden premise ka kasi. So, kayo na ang mga sagot mo doon sa utterances, you agree. They exist. Pero as far as the factual circumstances nung correspondence nung statement, you don't know. You don't have personal experience. But, nung tinanong ka na tungkol sa subject, yung mismong statement na yon, bigla nagbago yung sagot mo. Yun yung problema.
So, Your Honor, how can
Honor, the video dated November 26, 2024, the Vice President
just
reiterated
it's answerable by yes or no, Your Honor? How can he be?
He's answering.
How can he be?
Counsels, kindly settle down. This is not a college debate. Attorney Lotok,
This is
the
not a
question
college debate.
was simple. Kindly answer the question directly.
Yes, sir.
You do not
That
have personal knowledge.
That utterances made by the Vice President that she contracted the person, I do believe that, sir, because of the evidence.
No, we don't give a shit what you believe, you shit. That's not the question. Your belief is for you. We don't give a shit. I don't care about what you believe. All I care is what you can prove. Wala kami pakialam sa belief mo. Kung INC ka, problema mo yun. Gets mo? Iba yung belief sa knowledge. Belief is just, you don't have to actually prove it. It's just a belief. Iba yung knowledge sa belief. Oh, pakita natin. Epistemology ang knowledge. Belief is a subjective acceptance of a claim as true. Subjective. Regardless of objective evidence. Whereas knowledge is a justified true belief. Meaning, ang knowledge ay may belief, pero justified true belief. That relies on objective facts, logical reasoning, and empirical proof. Magkaiba yon. Wala kaming pake sa belief mo. Sa'yo yan. Ibulsa mo, lagay mo sa bangko. Gusto mo, sulat mo sa diary. We don't give a shit.
Of evidence that we've gathered, sir.
No, I'm not asking whether or not she said those statements. I'm asking if you have personal knowledge based on this that the Vice President really contracted an assassin.
Ask and answer.
Or, a person.
Objection, ask and answer.
Witness will
time
answer.
Based on our investigation, Your Honor, we do believe that the
We don't give a shit sa what you believe.
Vice
Attorney
President,
Lotok, the question was, do you have personal knowledge?
as to the fact of the adherences, and then when the Vice President reiterated that,
See? Hirap na hirap, sir. Kanina, ang ganda ng mga sagot mo eh. Mga utterances, they exist. Personal knowledge, no. Dapat, yan din ang sagot mo dyan. Pero bakit nagbago?
Attorney Lotok, you're a smart man. Just answer the question. Do you have personal knowledge? You said that as to the other parts, you do not have personal knowledge. But now, my question to you...
Exactly. Sa ibang parts, you don't have personal knowledge. Ngayon dito, meron na. How?
is as to the part whether VP Sara talked to that person about BBM and FL and the speaker, do you have personal knowledge
National Belief
pwede
Investigation.
ko pong explain.
Maganda yan.
or not? No, just answer the question, yes or no.
You're right.
Attorney Lotok, this is not the first time you attended a trial. I'm sure counsel for the prosecutors and redirect will be able to clarify whatever you want to clarify. But in the meantime, answer the question of counsel for the respondent.
Yeah. We do believe that the Vice President had contracted, but I don't have personal knowledge. Kung personal knowledge ang gusto nyo alaman. Pero we do believe based on the...
Kanina pa yun yung gustong malaman. Pero wala kaming pakialam. Tamo ha, tingnan mo yung katangahan nitong witness na to. Halatang bias. Bakit? Kung ang gusto mong i-point out is yung belief mo, without the personal knowledge, bakit hindi rin yan yung sinagot mo sa iba? Dapat sinabi mo rin kay Romualdez, while we don't have personal knowledge, kung nangyari talaga yan, pero yung utterance nag-exist, but we do believe na nangyari yan. Bakit may we do believe? Irrelevant yung we do believe. That doesn't make any sense. Bakit hindi ganoon yung sagot mo kanina? Bakit ngayon, ang sagot mo na, may we do believe? We don't believe in you? May bearing ba yon na we don't believe in you? No. Walang bearing yun. Evidence-based. My goodness.
The evidence that we've gathered and based on our investigation.
Thank you for that admission. All right. The press con was broadcasted to the general public, correct?
Social media, sir, yes.
In other words, everybody listening to it could hear the statements made by VP Sara.
We believe so, sir, yes.
Are you aware that the Vice President is a lawyer?
Yes, sir, of course.
That he has, of course, a law degree and passed the bar exams?
Yes, sir.
With a first attempt and with a rating of 80%, are you aware of this?
I heard it in the news, sir.
Oh, she has a higher grade than most of the lawyers here. But are you aware that she also worked as a
Objection,
court attorney?
relevance, Your Honor.
So, ang gusto nila i-point out dito, ba't niya sasabihin niya lawyer siya?
Relevance. Objection,
Counsel for the
relevance.
respondent, kindly avoid those
Yes,
we will comply, Your
disparaging
Honor.
statements, given that there are a lot of lawyers here and you don't know what their grades are.
We will comply, Your Honor. So my question to you is this. If she was serious about her alleged plan involving BBM, FL, and the former speaker, does it make sense for her that she would publicly announce this to the general public? If you know.
I don't know that.
Yeah, actually, you can argue na kaya niya yung sinabi sa public is to actually protect herself. Kasi there's no use in saying it publicly kung walang purpose sa existence mo, sa survival mo. Right? Hindi mo na kailangan sabihin publicly. Kung totoo yun, ha? Hindi mo na kailangan sabihin publicly yun. Whether it's true or not, ang purpose ng pagkasabi publicly is for the threat, to repel the threat sa buhay niya. That's the only purpose there is na you can actually derive from what happened there. Yun lang yung way to think about it. Kasi yung iba is lalong pabor sa defense. Like, nagyabang. So, kung nagyabang, pag mayabang, hindi maibig sabihin ng totoo.
Honor.
All right. In fact, you showed in your direct examination, you also showed portions of the October 18 press con, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that press con was also done in general, before the general public, correct?
I believe so, sir.
All right. Based on your investigation or your experience as an investigator, kapag may balak bang patayin ng isang tao, sinasabi ba nila yung plano nila sa general public?
Well, kapag may grave threat, sir, naririnig yun ng ibang tao.
Well, that's a good point, pero hindi public, right? Yeah, good
All
point.
right. My more important question to you is this.
No, that's a good point actually. So kapag grave threat, it entails na narinig na ibang tao.
Did VP Sara directly say her statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
That's a good point too. So hindi siya direct na sinabi. So ibig sabihin, paano mo siya maano ng grave threat? So okay. Teka, wait. Parang, okay, pag grave threat, papatayin kita. Martin Romualdez, papatayin kita. Ganon. Uy, ano lang yun, example lang yun. Baka kunin ng NBI yun sa akin eh. Hindi yung grave threat, ha? Ano yun? Hypothetical. So, directed yung kay Romualdez. Okay, para pag sabi ko, kapag nangyari yan, papatayin ko si Romualdez. Alam mo, gusto ko nga patayin si Romualdez. Hindi, ganun pa rin yung effect actually. Kahit hindi directed, no? Ganun pa rin yung effect Kahit sabihin kong, gusto ko nga patayin si Romualdez Threat pa rin yun Okay, anong gustong i-point out dito ng defense? Is there a distinction or a distinction without a difference? Bawin mo agad, slip of the tongue lang. Okay, tingnan natin.
Well, the fact na sinabi niya
Thank you for analyzing this kayo. It help us understand it
In
better.
public.
Again, Your Honor,
Definitely.
just
Narinig
Di
ko
bale, team replay naman siguro si Chavit.
ng
For a more
presidente
responsive answer.
Attorney LOTOC, kindly
Ano?
answer.
na sinabi niya yan in public.
Again, Your Honor,
Definitely.
just
Narinig
We
ko
ask
ng
for a more
presidente.
responsive answer.
Attorney LOTOC, kindly answer. The answer is actually quite
So kasama sa element,
obvious.
tingnan natin na ano ng grave threat. The threat is not subject to a condition. Kapag grave threat, ba't sabi may or may not, right? Nakalagay dito the threat is not subject to a condition. Threat is made absolutely without any demand or contingency. Oh, ito na sa contingency So, ibig sabihin, hindi nga siya pasok, okay? For conditional grave threats, ito may conditional. The offender threatened a crime, the threat to inflict harm on or property is coupled with a condition, such as demand for money or imposing a requirement. Okay, hindi rin pasok dyan. The offender attains their purpose, the perpetrator must have successfully achieved the goal or purpose for which the condition threat was made. Must have successfully achieved the goal. Okay. The threat is made in writing or through a middleman. If delivered this way, the maximum penalty is imposed. The threat is made in writing or through a middleman. Hindi rin The crime, the threat comes to knowledge of the person, blah, blah, blah. So, wala namang ano doon na directed. May pwedeng ang middleman Ito, pwedeng middleman So, kung pwedeng middleman, ibig sabihin, hindi kailangan ng direct. No? Hindi kailangan ng direct. Okay, let's go. Like si Tari na yan.
It's a simple question. Did the Vice President utter those statements directly towards the persons allegedly
Pero
threatened?
irrelevant pala kung directly, no?
We believe so, Your Honor, because the utterances was made in public.
Tanga hindi. Lawyer yan, hindi siya directly. Hindi siya directly. Kabobohan yung sagot na yes kasi made public. Hindi. Hindi yung directly kasi ang directly is sinabi mismo like ina-address. Ina-address mismo directly sila PBBM. Sila First Lady tsaka si Romualdez. Yun yung directly. Indirectly to. Lumalabas. Hindi directly. So, ibig sabihin, kapag not directly, possible na indirectly. Right? Kasi ang negation ng directly, not directly. Ang not directly, ang indirectly is not directly. Right?
So what's the answer? Did
We believe so.
VP Sara directly say those statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
As God answered, he said, we believe so.
But we did not get a responsive answer, Your
That's
Honor.
the
Can we
answer.
ask
Hindi nga sumagot
the witness to give a more responsive answer?
That's his answer. We believe so. Yes, that's a yes. That's so clear.
Without putting words into the mouth of the witness, I will be the one to ask. Attorney LOTOC, you meant yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Proceed, counsel.
Oh.
All right. Are you aware that in one interview following the press con, BBM mentioned that he was open for reconciliation with the Vice President?
I'm not aware of that.
Not aware, okay? I'll make you
Ito
aware.
pa, hindi pa na isama yung date nito. Magandang argument din to Kasi, lumalabas ngayon na hindi tinake seriously ng presidente yon. Pero ikaw, tinake mo seriously, pinangunahan mo yung presidente na threaten siya. Pero meron kasing gantong video. Kaso, na-late na naman yung date. So, yun yung issue.
Today. Can we play D-4-12, please?
Mr. President, kayo po ba, sa puso ninyo, gusto niyo bang makipagkasundo pa sa mga Duterte?
Oo. Ayoko ng gulo. Gusto ko makasundo sa lahat ng tao. Mas maganda, marami na akong kaway. Hindi ko kailangan ng kaway. Kailangan kong kaibigan. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, pagka... hindi ko... Magko-confess ako dito.
Pwede naman po, para akong pari po dito ngayon ako.
Ewan ko, kahit hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko, yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na alika magtulungan tayo. Diba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin yung trabaho pero huwag na tayong nanggugulo. Huwag na natin, tanggalin natin yung gulo.
Alright. Attorney Lotoc. So based on that video, BBM was open to reconcile with VP Sara, correct?
Anong date po ng video, sir?
We will provide the date in a while. They're researching on it. But even without the date, you can confirm.
Hindi, gusto kong malaman kung anong date, sir.
So you cannot answer the question without...
Wow, kapag kaganyan, kapag katungkol sa ganyan, biglang may kailangan ng context, no? Galing talaga nito ni ano, no? Ni Mr. Witness.
Us providing the date of this...
Tingnan ko kung ilang buwan na yan after nung November 23.
Alright.
Move on, counsel, while you're checking on the
See?
date. You can go back to that topic.
Still maintain that BBM... Now, assuming that this happened after, do you still maintain that BBM really believed in his mind that VP Sara would harm or kill him?
But how would I know that, Your Honor?
Precisely. So you don't know, you cannot
Precisely.
know that, Your Honor. Correct? Because you cannot enter the state of mind of the president. Are you admitting that?
Unless there is a basis, Your Honor, gaya ng investigation namin sa appearances ni VP na may mga circumstances. Pag yan lang ang nakita ko, siyempre hindi namin ma-establish yung state of mind ng presidente.
But isn't it in your affidavit of investigation, you
Accelerate. Oh.
mentioned about the state of mind of the president?
State of mind of the president based
Correct. After the statements of VP Sara, you interpreted the mind. It's like you went into the mind of the alleged offended parties, BBM, FL, and the speaker, and based on your own interpretation, you determined or concluded that they were threatened.
Iba din pag attorney ang witness, magaling sa mental gymnastics. Hindi rin. Oh, tanongin mo yung asawa mo. O yung mga jowa nyo, tanongin nyo. Magaling din sila sa ganyan. Yung hindi sasagot ng direkta. Oh, yung mga jowa nyo, tanongin nyo. Lalo na pag babae. Natural sa kanila yan. Oo. Hindi yan inaaral. Oo. Natural sa kanila yan. Yun yung ano, yung bakit di mo ako sinamahan, ba't ikaw hindi ka naghugas ng pinggan kahapon, something like that. Parang di mo sinagot yung tanong, pre. Oo. Yep. Oh, tanongin yung mga jowa nyo. Oo. Tanongin nyo lang, hindi mga lawyer yan. Hindi mo kailangang pag-aralan yan.
That not the case?
Yeah, ang sinabi doon ng presidente, nakakabahala yung mga narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. And then isa itong kriminal na pagtatangka, ito yung aking papalagan. So, at that moment, the president took the utterances serious and real, sir.
But you just based that on his own statement. You did not enter his state of mind, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I think, where is this leading?
What's the objection?
A witness is being asked
What's
to
the
enter
basis for the
state of
objection, Your
mind.
Honor?
Kindly wait for the counsel for prosecutor to finish his
Incompetent, Your
objection.
Honor. Incompetent.
Incompetent nga.
The witness already said that based on their investigation, based on the statement of the president after the event, he said that they determined that the president felt threatened. And the question now is, did you enter his state of mind? Your Honor, please, I think I'm now objecting on the reason that this person is incompetent to
Your Honor,
enter.
we will be satisfied with just the basis. If he had said incompetence, we would ask for a ruling already. He doesn't have to lecture, Your Honor, and for the record.
Kindly reform, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at.
All right. My question to you is this. Do you have background on forensic psychology?
Oh. So, sabi, kumbaga, incompetent na nga. Actually, kasama na yung all-encompassing na yung incompetent to answer that eh. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, miski forensic psychology, wala rin.
No.
Do you have a background on behavioral psychology?
Well, we were taught about
Just
that
yes or
subject
no.
matter in
Just
the
a
academy.
yes or no will do. Do you have a forensic psychology department in the NBI's cybercrime division?
Ba't yun ang itsura ni Bongo?
You have a forensic psychology department.
Oh, parang nakamaskera. Ayun oh. Hindi nyo ba pansin? Ayun oh. Parang hindi siya. Parang nakamaskera siya. Parang yung mask ni yung kay, kay, tagito. Yung kay Pacquiao. Ayun, tingnan mo. Kita nyo? Kita nyo? Oh, kita nyo? Parang siyang nakamask, no? Parang hindi siya. Parang yung mask na pati si JV, tingnan mo si JV, oh. Parang thumbnail, tingnan mo si JV. Tingnan si JV, gagi. Parang yung tingnan mo si JV, Oh, game. Oh, game.
In the NBI's cybercrime division?
Forensic psychology.
Yes.
We have BSD. We have medical legal department.
Medical legal only. Okay.
We have psychiatrists.
All
We
right.
have psychologists. We have all of those, sir.
Nasobra
Alright,
sa makeup.
In other words, you do not have a professional assessment of the mind of BBM when you conducted this affidavit of investigation, correct?
Okay, sir. The investigation, ganito po ang nangyari. Nung nag-comment yung presidente na nakakabahala yung mga utterances, pera lang ho doon, tinignan namin yung comment ng iba't ibang government agencies na ganun din yung kanilang reaksyon, nakakabahala yung sinabi na.
Sino to? Hello? Hello? Tumawag na kayo kahapon eh.
Ang Vice Presidente, magiging issue yan ng national security. Pero lang ho yun, kinonsider din namin yung comments at impression ng mga media personalities na nag-participate doon sa online press conference. Sabi nila, na-shock sila, nabigla sila, hindi sila na parang totoo yung galit ng Vice President. And then aside from that, from those facts, ganun din ang ginawa namin sa former speaker sa kanyang reaction. So taking all these facts and circumstances, na-establish namin na indeed yung reaction ng Presidente.
Pero bakit may iba na? Puro ano na eh, puro ang nangyayari dito, moving the goalpost na eh. Bakit? Nung una, presidente lang. Ngayon, ibang agency na rin. So paano yung mga ibang agency na nag-comment kay VP? Doon sa threat sa kanya. Paano yun? Ang dami na puro moving the goalpost, puro ad hoc na eh. Pati yung government agencies, ganito yung nangyari, blah blah blah, para lang ma-prove mo na feel threatened yung presidente. Kahit naman yung buong mundo nagsabi no, tapos si presidente is, Ano lang? O di hindi siya feel threatened. 'Di ba? Red herring eh. Ad hoc. Moving the goalpost. My goodness.
Is trinato niya na seryoso at totoo yung utterances na yon na ginawa ni VP Sara noong 23. So ito ho, yan lang dito, ipapakita nyo sa akin yan lang mag-isa, hindi namin nakita yung ibang circumstances. Hindi ho ako makakapagsabi kung sa mind ng presidente is pinatawad na ba niya, ayaw na niya, hindi na ba niya.
Open for reconciliation nga eh. Anong pinatawad niya na open for reconciliation ng question? Siya, nagdududa tuloy ako, ba't ka napunta dyan sa posisyon mong yan?
Kinukonsider yung mga threat na yon. Pag ganyan lang, Your Honor, sa investigation kasi kailangan makita namin yung iba't ibang circumstansya para ma-establish namin whether or not, ito yung ibig niyang sabihin, ito yung intention niya.
For the record, Your Honor, the date of the video is May 19, 2025. So this came after.
2025. So mga 7 months, sir?
Yeah, 7 months. Alright, so based on your experience as an investigator, baka pwedeng ano na?
Okay, hindi sa sufficient para makita namin. Kasi
anyway,
we know for a fact na...
We're satisfied with your first answer.
The witness still answering? Well, I didn't even ask a question, Your Honor.
You did, counsel, when you gave the date and asked for his opinion. Kindly finish your answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. We, as lawyers, we know for a fact that the state of mind can manifest based on the overt acts of the speaker. So dito kasi, kung ito lang ang pagbabatayan namin, then we try to establish yung intent o yung state of mind ng presidente, kulang ho yan. So siguro kung may makikita pa kami ibang circumstances na magpapatunay na binaliwala niya na yung utterances, pinatawag.
Tamo Tingnan mo, katangahan mo, NBI. Paano ibang circumstances? Sige, pagbigyan natin yung trip mo. Let's satisfy it. Tama, magkakaroon ka ng ad hoc na naman. Ang unang pinakamalakas ay hindi siya nagreklamo. Additional lang yan. Hindi pa ba kompleto yung circumstances? Open for reconciliation, sinabi niya, hindi siya nagreklamo, hindi siya pumunta sa inyo at nagbigay ng pahayag, and then ganun din kay First Lady pati kay Romualdez. Anong circumstansya pa ang kailangan mo? Doon pa lang tapos na usapan.
Niya yung vice presidente and things like that, then we can somehow said mukhang ang totoo yung sinabi ng presidente na pinatawad niya.
Alright, but I'll move on to a different point.
Before counsel for the respondent continues, what is the pressure of Senator Judge?
Ano ka ba kayo? Bobo naman ito. Naglabasa naman yung mga bobo. Circumstansya ang ina-ask niya. Hindi ko sinasabi ko pwede sila mag-imbestigang bobo ka. Circumstansya. Ano ba yung circumstansya? Hindi nga nagreklamo. Sunod, ngayon, may reconciliation. Ayun yung perfect circumstansya para sabihin na hindi siya threatened. Yung moto proprio mo, ibang usapan yan, bobo. Yung moto proprio na yan, tukol yan sa NBI pag-iimbestiga. Kahit hindi nag-ano yung subject ng threat, pwede lang gawin yon. Ibang usapan yung moto proprio doon sa mind and condition ng presidente. Bobo! Paggamot ka ng tulo mo. Ang bobo mo.
Just one specific clarification on that point, just so that we don't lose the point.
The
With your
gentleman
permission,
may proceed.
Mr. Yeah. Excuse me lang sa prosecution and sa defense. Witness, one point lang, maybe one
Yes,
or
sir.
two question on that
Yes, Your
point.
Honor.
Sabi mo, the President, sa pananaw mo, and yung iba, Speaker Martin felt threatened.
Basi doon sa
Kanina pa yan, boss kayo. Ayan na, gentleman, pasagot ko dyan ngayon na bobo. Kanina pa ba yan? Ang bobo! Paggamot ka muna tulo mo. Umakit na sa utak mo.
investigation namin. sir.
Base sa investigation at base sa video.
Base sa video, sa investigation, at sa ibang testimony.
So if they felt threatened, that means tingin nila totoo yung sinabi ni VP Sara.
Yun
na
yung point,
patayin siya.
yeah.
Kasi they wouldn't feel threatened if they don't think na she meant it, na patayin
Correct,
sila
correct.
tatlo, right?
In our investigation, they trinato nila yung utterances as seryoso.
Yes,
At
so
banta
they
ito.
won't feel threatened unless tingin nila seryoso yung threat.
According to them, seryoso yung threat.
Yes,
sir.
okay. But the threat was, pag pinatayin niyo ako, papatayin ko kayo. So kung hindi naman nila sila balak patayin, why would they feel threatened? Unless
That was my point. Kailangan mo munang i-treat seriously yung threat sa buhay ni VP bago mo i-treat yon. Kung tinreat mo yung sinorkat mo, tinreat mo na kagad yung conditional threat ka mo na yon, yung grave threat, then you already agreed na totoo yung threat kay VP. Right? Yun. It implied kagad. Kasi dapat, i-treat mo muna seriously yung threat kay VP. Kasi doon lang ma-activate yung sinasabi na nag-contract ng assassin. Ngayon, kapag nag-shortcut ka, may nilagpasan kang step. Meaning, nung tinake mo as seriously yung grave threat ka mo, then it already implies na tinreat mo rin seriously yung threat sa kanya. But the problem is, may imbestiga. Walang investigasyon dun kay VP, sa threat kay VP. Pero dito meron.
you're saying now, you think, balak na nilang papatay si Vice President.
Actually, sir, ito, from the point of view of
Yeah, it entails that. Kasi, kaya nga tinanong sa'yo kanina, ito totoo ba to? Ito totoo ba to? Ito totoo ba to? Kasi, ang point dyan, yung Operation Romanov, right? Yun yung tinanong ng Maui. So, kung yun yung tinanong ng Maui, that it implies na gustong ipapatay si VP Sara. So, ngayon, nung tinake mo seriously yung grave threat, then it means, ginrant mo na kagad na gusto nga patayin ng presidente or ng admin or nilang tatlo si VP. Hindi ka makaka-escape doon. So, dapat ang unahin mo yung threat kay VP nung tatlo. Bago ka ngayon pumunta doon sa grave threat ni VP. That's how it works. Paano imbestigahan yung threat? Hindi nga na-cooperate si Sara. Bobo ka pala eh! Ano yung moto proprio? Kasi sabi mo lang kanina, moto proprio, bobo! Nakipag-cooperate ba ang presidente? Ba't na-imbestigahan nila? Bobo! Yung tulo, umakit na sa utak mo. Kita mo yung double standard mong tanga ka? Kasi yan dahil sa pagiging political addict mo yan. Ikaw nagsabi kanina moto proprio eh! Tapos sabi parang imbestigahan, hindi naman nakikipag-cooperate. Nakipag-cooperate mo ang presidente? Bobo! Tanga! Time out yung 24 hours yung bobong yan? Moto proprio nga. Kaya nga! Bakit ka nag-request ng makipag-cooperate si VP? Moto proprio nga, di ba? Bobo! Tanga! Duty ng NBI. Kaya nga! At duty ng NBI under Saan ba under? Saan ba under si VP? Executive din, tanga! Bobo! Pinagmalaki yung pang-executive. Saan ba si VP? Hindi ba executive si VP? Tanga! Bobo mo! Time out niya yan! Bobo!
enforcement like us. Yun nga yung naging alarming na issue doon na sa amin sara.
No, I agree. I'm also, Mr. Vitessa, I'm also alarmed with the language, with saying that. I'm alarmed with what's happening in our country, in flood control, etc. But that's not my point. My point is, in your investigation, para maging grave threat, kailangan yung party na threatened feels threatened. Pero ang sinabi ni VP Sara, pag pinatay ako, patayin silang tatlo. So kung wala naman silang tatlo balak na patayin siya, why would they feel threatened? Did that not come into your mind as an investigator?
What comes
Exactly.
into your mind, Your Honor, is yun nga, yung possibility na God forbids may mangyari sa BP na hindi naman alam ng tatlo, then matitrigger ngayon yung instruction, then papatayin yung tatlo na hindi naman nila alam. At the same time,
No,
yung mga ibang grupo
then in that case, di ba logical, because you're the president of the Philippines, you order the PSC to make sure that walang mangyari sa kanya rather than balik na tinanggalan siya ng security.
Exactly, this is a
Nung
very
I'm
good
just
point.
following your-
Actually, this is a very good point. Salamat, Connie. Napaambag tuloy ako sa katawa dito. That's a very good point. Why? Kasi, kung totoo, kung ina-assume nyo, titake nyo seriously yung threat kay VP, na it implies na yung tatlo ang may threat kay VP, hindi ba lalong kailangan lumakas yung investigasyon dahil instead na dagdagan yung security ni VP, tinanggalan? Hindi ba lalo na naging potent yung threat? Think about it. Hindi ba ang threat kay VP? Nag-contract daw siya, nagpapatay doon sa tatlo kung sakaling patayin siya. Okay, ang pinagbibintangan na suspect doon sa papatayin si VP is yung tatlo. Ngayon, instead na dagdagan yung security, binawasan. Hindi ba lalo na dapat tumaas yung chance na mapatay si VP? Think about it. Oo nga no, may threat sa buhay ni VP, bakit inalisan ng security? Exactly. This is a very good point. Yun yung reklamo ni VP, binawasan ng security niya.
Logic,
Yes, sir.
I won't argue. Finish your, I'm satisfied, Mr. President. I'm just trying to figure out how you came about yung grave threats, given
Yeah.
ang sinabi niya kung papatay na.
Mas alarming yun, correct.
Finish your answer so that
We qualify that grave threats sa term namin as event-based condition na yun nga, pag nangyari yung event, magti-trigger ngayon yung threat ng Vice President. Now, insofar as
Kaya nga ang goal nila, proteksyonan yung 3, i-prioritize nila si VP kasi doon nakasalalay, ayaw man nila o hindi. Tama.
na-threaten sila, yung sinasabi mo po, sir, na pag namatay si Vice President, tsaka papatayin ngayon ng tao na inutusan niya, yung tatlo, ang isa sa alarming, na very alarming part na nakita namin, yung mga sasakay ho na grupo po eh.
Correct. Totoo naman yun. Imminent din yun.
God forbid, pwedeng mawala ang Vice Presidente, but not necessarily sila yung dahilan.
That is true. Yes. Valid naman yan, yes.
Namatay siya for one reason or the other.
Pero, yun nga yung point. Valid naman yan. Pero the problem is, tinanggalan ng security. Kung tinanggalan ng security, mas lalo dapat kayo na-alarm at mas tinake nyo seriously yung threat dapat kay VP. Hindi doon sa tatlo. Reverse utak mo, sir.
And then, ang impression na ng marami, ang may kasalanan nito, yung tatlo. So, again, magkakalabo-labo na yan. May sasakay na sa issue, thinking na pag...
Which is kailangan nga ng more protection ni VP to actually prevent that one. Pero bakit tinanggalan ng security? Mas lalong alarming yun, mas importante yun kaysa sa sinasabi mong grave threat sa presidente. That doesn't make any sense. Reverse utak mo.
nila yung tatlo, ang sisisihin ngayon yung kampo ni Vice Presidente kasi may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente.
Palamig kayo, nabuwisit din ako sa... Salamat, Janice.
To that effect. So, yun ho yung sa investigation namin. Now, in so far as pumasok ho yung elements ng grave threats, we believe na pumasok yung elements ng grave threats kasi nasa...
Hindi reverse ang utak niya, bayad lang. Tama, you need to make sure that VP stays alive. Correct!
Satisfy ho lahat ng elements ng grave threat based on the revised plan.
I'm assessing your answer, but malayo na malapit yung sagot mo dun sa triggering events, ha?
Yeah.
Kasi parang logical, di ba? Dahil sinabi niya yon, baka may gumawa. Hindi nga magti-trigger, papatay sa kanya. So para ma-trigger na patayin ang Pangulo, you're saying that VP Sara is asking other people to kill her so that they can kill Marcos. Di sana sinabi na lang niya patayin niyo si Marcos. Sabi mo i-trigger, but anyway, I'm trying to process. But
Actually, that's a good point too. Na patayin niya si Marcos, yun lang. Wala nang conditional.
hindi logical yung sinabi mo that event will trigger. Because the event that will trigger the assassination on the tree is the killing of the Vice President. And the Vice President will not tell people, kill me so that you kill them.
Okay. Let's analyze that. Wala namang sinabi na kill me so the assassin can kill them. But in effect, it has the same effect. Why? Kasi pag sinabi mo yung publicly, lumalabas, nag-i-invite ka ng papatay sa'yo, yung gustong pumatay sa presidente. Tama? Makes sense. It follows. So, kung bakit niya sasabihin yun publicly, it doesn't make any sense na gusto yung patayin yung sarili niya, mamatay siya para patayin ng presidente. Tama? Yun yung gusto niya puntahan. Although hindi sinabi yon, but the effect is the same. Pag sinabi ko publicly yan, may ibang mapagbibintangan, then nag-i-invite ka na patayin ka para ibintang sa iba. Baka may ibang galit sa'yo. So, ibig sabihin, pag sabi mo yung publicly, parang nag-invite ka na nga rin ng papatay sa'yo. Which doesn't make any sense. So, hindi yung event ang magti-trigger. Kasi ang pinagbibintangan din nung papatay sa kanya is yung tatlo rin. Kumbaga, ang nangyari doon is insurance policy. So ngayon, para i-repel yung threat, kung sila man yun talaga, kung silang tatlo yun, is mag-think twice sila. I'm tired listening. I believe it doesn't prove anything. Tama, Wabit Noy. Salamat.
Obviously, Your Honor, ang death kasi, for instance, mamatay yung Vice Presidente, it does not necessarily follow na yung tatlo yung nagpapatay base doon sa utterances. Pwede kasing...
It doesn't, but contextually speaking, sila yon. Kasi ang question ng Maui, di ba? Meron silang yung Operation Romanov. Meron sila, nasa baluarte kayo ng kalaban na sinasabi niya na merong operation sa inyo na ang sinasabi doon sa context na yon ay sino? Yung tatlo. Sila. So contextually, connected yun doon. Pero kapag tinake mo lang yung statement, non-sequitur nga siya, it doesn't necessarily follow. Tama ka doon. Pero may context kasi. Akala ko ba kanina, sabi mo, bago ka mag-analyze circumstansya, kailangan mo ng context. Ngayon, tinanggal mo naman yung context. Wow! Pagkatapos ng palamig, ito painit para si Pod Labas. Salamat sa pagtuturo ng logic, boss kayo. Salamat, Kiss Lalat.
Mamatay yung Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. And again, since wala makakalam kung sino ang pumatay dyan, ang impression ng mga tao ngayon, matitrigger ngayon yung instruction. Pag na-trigger
Yeah.
yung instruction, pwede ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo, thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito, ang Vice Presidente, kasi nga, may appearances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, yung instruction, pwede ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo, thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito, ang Vice Presidente, kasi nga, may appearances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, matter of...
Well, magulo doesn't prove anything. Ang magulo doesn't prove a crime. Magulo din naman yung sistema nyo. Pati nga yung evidence preserving nyo eh. Yung question ni Maui dun talaga nag-outburst nun.
It's a matter of national security, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed with his cross.
So just before I leave this point, at any rate, you made all those observations and conclusions without any background on forensic
What do you mean?
psychology, correct?
I don't have background for forensic
Correct.
psychology.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I'll go on to a different point. Let's talk about the context of these statements. The press con included a question and answer portion.
Ito na yung context pala.
Again, sir?
The press con included a question and answer portion.
Yes.
Witness, sabi mo magulo pero ikaw magulo sa totoo lang.
And the VP Sara's statement, which you investigated, was an answer to a question that was asked during the press con.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the focus of your investigation was VP Sara's answer, correct?
What kind of answer, sir?
Answer to the question as in the press code.
Can you tell me the specific questions and the specific answers?
You were the one who investigated it and you don't know the statement that you
Objection
investigated.
vague.
Marami yung
Vague.
question doon, maraming answers, sir. Saan po
Exactly.
doon ang tinutukoy
Objection
mo?
vague.
Sustained. Kindly reform, counsel.
All right. In our exhibit D-1-145A, I will read the transcription. This is the transcription also by John Mark Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. A certain Princess Maui asked,
Counsel may approach from both parties to assist the witness.
mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami ng pasabog ninyo ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them dahil sa pagkakasama ninyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi, totoo yung mga naririnig namin, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanov.
Oh, meron silang Operation Romanov. Sila yon. Oh.
Nakabala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balak in the future. So,
Oh, 'di ba? Balak in the future. Okay.
ingat po kayo. My question to you is this. Will you agree that based on this question by one Princess Maui, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family, namely Operation Romanov?
Well, sabi ko nga, narinig ko yung term na Romanov nung binigkasyon ni Mayor Baste noong January.
Ang layo na naman ang sagot eh. Based on that statement alone, diyan sa context na yan, meron daw threat sa buhay ni VP Sara at sa pamilya niya, Operation Romanov. Based on that, saka pumunta sa muunang narinig yung Romanov? What the fuck? Umiiwas.
During Maisog rally. Other than that, wala ako kaming validated na about Romanov operation.
But you watched
It doesn't matter kung may validation ng Romanov. Did you investigate that? And that the context is there's a threat sa life ni VP Sara. Doon sa same video na sinasabi mong totoo, kay VP Sara na grave threat, may sinabi rin dyan na Operation Romanov. Did you investigate it?
video, correct? So you heard it also during that time.
Yan ho
Yeah.
yung sabi ni Princess Maui, sir.
So you heard it.
Nag-invite kami kay Princess Maui, tinanong ko yung incident case, kung nag-invite ba tayo kay Princess Maui, ang sabi ng incident case, hindi raw siya nag-appear.
Alright.
Kasi we want to clarify
With the
things.
permission of the counsel for the respondent, what is the
Ismagal niya talaga si Basti eh.
pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Tama si Ramil Madriaga, pasok naging kasama nila VP during campaign at kidnapper yon. Basically, no. Pero hindi na lang alam ang...
Mr. Presiding Officer, kahapon kasi nabanggit yung Romanov and I did
Oy! Oh,
mention na
paring Rafi.
para sa akin, nagmula yung salitang Romanov
Parang kalitip mo lang 250 pesos sa ano
kay
sa
Mayor
labas
Baste Duterte during a rally yung sa Maisog in Davao. So, ang tanong ko ngayon kay Mr. Witness, matatanong pa ba kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste Duterte patungkol dun sa Romanov that night?
Yes, sir, I will try if
Can you
I
tell us?
remember it right. Ang sabi niya, Mr. President, sabi niya, remember what happened to the Romanovs. If I'm not mistaken, sir, parang ang sinasabi niya, kasi mayroong...
No, I think when you go to bed tonight, continue.
Yes, sir, yan. Sabi ko yan.
Okay.
When you go to bed tonight, think about the Romanovs. Yun po yata yung pagkasabi. Parang sinasabi niya na baka mangyari sa pamilya niyo yun, gaya ng nangyari sa inyo noong 1986.
So, paano mo na i-connect yung Romanov na tanong at saka yung Romanov kay Baste? Kabobohan. So, perfectly disconnected yun. Katangahan. Use and mention fallacy. Na-mention lang yung Romanov, sabi mo ayun na yung Operation Romanov? Hindi. So, lumalabas totally disconnect to. Ang tanong sa'yo, merong threat sa buhay ni Vice President diyan sa video na yan na sinabi ni Maui, Princess Maui, na tinatawag na Operation Romanov. Ang sagot mo, kay Basti ko narinig yung Romanov. Dapat siya mo lang sa Wikipedia ko unang nabasa yon. Parang tanga. Bakit? Totally disconnect eh. Total disconnect. Ibang Romanov yun. Yung context doon, di ba yung Romanov na to? Kasi lumalabas doon, yun pala yung Romanov na threat.
Kung tama yung memory ko, sir, parang ganun po ang sinasabi ni Mayor Baste.
Kaya nga, Mr. Presiding Officer, nagtataka ako na binanggit yan ni
So kapag minention ko yung kamati sa palengke, it always connected kay Boss Kayo. Tama! Yun yung lumalabas sa kabobohan ng witness.
Princess Maui doon sa press conference, sa online press conference ni VP Sara, yung Romanov na banta for Sara Duterte. When in fact, it was Baste Duterte. Ang ibitang salita na yon, warning sa first family. So, which, Mr. Witness, para sa'yo, saan ba talaga yung Romanov nag-umpisa at sino ba talaga ang dapat mag-ingat?
Oo, kasi disconnect yun. Ngayon, pinag-mix mo yung sinabi ni Baste at yung sinabi ni Maui. May salitang Romanov lang, ang ginawa mo, alam mo ginawa mo, ano? Association. In-associate mo ngayon yung salitang Romanov sa Operation Romanov sa Romanov na sinabi ni Baste, which is totally disconnected. Sa context doon sa nakalagay, ay ano? O yan, dito pa pala si ano yun. Oh. Sa context doon kay Maui, Operation Romanov ay threat kay VP Sara. Ang context ng Romanov na binanggit kay Baste is paalala, warning sa pamilya ng first family. Totally disconnect. Different context. Kapag sinabi kong kupal ka, witness, ibig sabihin, no, kapag at narinig mo yung salitang kupal, na astig yung isang tao, sasabihin mo, sa una ko narinig yung kupal dito eh. So, ang ibig sabihin niya doon, astig. Dito, ang ibig sabihin niya dito sa kupal na to, siraulo, tanga, walang kwentang gago. So, gusto mo pag-connectin yon? Tanga? Kabubuhan? Marami ka pa circumstansya na para malaman, ito yung ibig niya sabihin. Eh, comprehension mo palang problema na?
Doon sa banta na Romanov.
Yeah, insofar as our investigation is concerned, since nag-start yan doon kay Mayor Baste at wala ko kaming ma-validate na ibang Romanov operations.
Oh, hindi ibig sabihin wala ka ma-validate is yun na yun, yung kay Baste. Conflation ba tawag? Conflation yun. Oo. Equivocation din. Sa salitang Romanov, nagkaroon siya ng equivocation.
Na nangyari. I think nag-start yan sa kanila, sir, sa kapatid ng Vice Presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. No other questions? Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records, and counsel for the respondent may continue with this cross.
All right. So you mentioned that just now that Mayor Baste said, think about the Romanovs, correct?
Yan yung statement ni Mayor Baste, sir.
But I'm asking Operation Romanov eh. So hindi naman think about the Romanovs. My question to you is this.
Oh, di ba? Operation Romanov, hindi Romanovs. Disconnected yun. Huwag mong pagsamahin. Ang layo. Paano ka naging regional director? Sabihan kanya ni Mayor Magalong sa Quantico yung statement analysis.
With the permission of counsel for the respondent, Senator Tulfo seeks recognition again. What is the pleasure of Senator?
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, Mr. Presiding Officer, na yung threat na yon, yung Romanov na salita, it was used to warn as a threat to the first family. The word Romanov came from the mouth of Mayor Baste Duterte, na parang binabantaan niya yung first family. You follow me, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun.
Thank
Tama
you.
po yun.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor,
Binabantaan. So, iba yung paggamit ng Romanov dito sa Operation Romanov. Tanga.
that's my question. Can the witness be allowed to answer that question with a manifestation first before he allows?
Kindly repeat the question because even I forgot the question,
All right.
counsel.
You mentioned that Mayor Baste said that statement, think about the Romanovs, etc.
Yes, sir.
But he did not mention Operation Romanov. It was Princess Maui who mentioned the word Operation Romanov. And I know you don't have, I personally don't have any knowledge about what Mayor Baste said, and that is not the subject of this case. Let's just stick to the facts of this case. Okay? In the video, it was Princess Maui who said Operation Romanov. All right? Now, will you agree with me that based on that question, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family? That's the question.
According to the question, sir, yes.
Oh.
All right. Now, you mentioned yesterday.
Okay, tama na. Paano mo re-reconcile yung tanga ka? Based on the question, yes. Tinatawag na Operation Romanov yun. Doon sa kabila, ang context ng kabila is yung Romanov is threat sa first family. Parang tanga. Di ba?
That you can motu proprio investigate threats against the Vice President.
Correct.
Sir, yes.
All right. My next question is very simple.
Ayan na mismo. Si asan yung tanga, yung bobo ay tinime out na pala. Motu proprio. Pwede rin.
Did you conduct a separate investigation on Operation Romanov?
Well, since ang focus ng operations namin, sir, is cybercrime investigation, I think ang makakasagot niyan yung intelligence service namin, sir.
So, pinasa na lang. Pero sinabi rin yan eh. Cyber. Sinabi rin yan eh. Uploaded, sinabi yung Operation Romanov. Yun pa lang yung fact na na-publish na yun, pasok na sa inyo yung kagad. Anong intelligence sinasabi mo dyan? Eh, di ba nga yung threat na yan, yung grave threat kamo sinasabi mo? Di ba pumasok sa inyo kasi in-utter publicly sa ano? By using electronics? O, electronics din yun eh! Palusot ng putya!
So far as the Cybercrime Division is concerned, ang focus na namin, crimes committed by, through, and with the use of information and communication technology. As to the fact whether or not may Operation Romanov, ang makakasagot po niyan either yung intelligence service o yung director po namin, sir.
So insofar as you are concerned, there is no ongoing investigation on Operation Romanov.
Again, ang focus ng investigation namin doon sa grave threat and then inciting to sedition against the Vice President.
So, bakit nga yun yung focus nung ano nyo? Investigation nyo?
The existence of whether or not may Operation Romanov, siguro makakasagot niyan, sir, yung intelligence service, yung director po namin.
All right. So no. At any rate, are you aware of if the Vice President was the target of unauthorized intelligence or surveillance operations?
I'm not aware, sir.
All right.
With the permission of counsel, Chair will recognize Senator Judge Pangilinan, thereafter Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Just one or two quick questions.
You may proceed, sir.
On the issue of Princess Maui.
Opo.
And itong investigasyon na sinasabing inimbestigahan ba yung threat against the Vice President. Kung hypothetically dumating si Princess Maui at nagpaliwanag tungkol sa Operation Romanov at sinabi niya ang detalye,
Yes,
kikilos ba ang
definitely,
cybercrime?
sir. Definitely.
Ano ang gagawin ninyo kung nakuha ninyo yung ganong klaseng impormasyon?
We will validate the information first, sir.
Ang problema, sabi nga ninyo kanina, hindi nga humarap.
Opo, sir.
But as in any other case, kung may humarap at pinag-usapan at sinabi ganito yung threat, what is the standard operating procedure of the NBI?
We validate first the information, sir, and then
Para sa inyo motopropyo.
pag confirm na, then we will start case build up, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Just want to direct my question to the witness here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung Romanov plot, well, aside from what Senator Judge Tulfo said, that came from Baste, but I picked it up doon sa video na pinalabas kanina ng defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung Romanov plot versus Sarah, according to Princess Maui. Did you take that information seriously or not?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why nung marinig namin, makita namin yung question ni Princess Maui about the Romanov, we conducted an open source investigation. Tinignan ho namin baka meron. Yun nga, ang nakita namin yung January 2024 during...
Nako, ang dami niyan. He's the golden boy of NBI, promoted 3 times in a year. Big time. Oh.
Maisog rally.
Pa-cyber din yan kay si Kiko. Sabi niya, ipapahukay niya, hindi naman ginagawa.
Yung the term, the word Romanov, ang nagbigkas ho noon si Mayor Baste, Your Honor.
Alright. So, yung statement ni Princess Maui sa video, how do you rate that info? Sa inyo po sa NBI, sa mga intelligence agencies.
Good question, in fairness.
Yung mga informations po ninyo, may rating. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Witness. For example, pag yung information po ninyo, pag yung information po na natanggap ninyo ay may mga rating po. A1, completely reliable. A2, completely reliable information, probably true. B1, usually reliable source, information confirmed. B2, usually reliable, information probably true, but needs validation. C1, fairly reliable source, information confirmed. C2, fairly reliable source, information needs validation. D to F, source is doubtful, unreliable, or reliability cannot be assessed. So, saan yun nilagay yung sinabi ni Princess Maui?
Magandang
saan
tanong,
sa classification po na ito na source of information? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 hanggang DF? Saan po? Kasi po ngayon, sir, napakarami na po mga impormasyon ng mga fake news.
Opo, sir.
Actually, apakagandang tanong, Erwin Tulfo. Hindi mo kailangan kuning vlogger para ipagtanggol ka dito. Ha? Tapos tatakbuhan mo rin ako sa dulo. Ay, sorry. Joke lang. Hindi mo napakagandang tanong. Dito natin malalaman kung paano nila ni-rate yun. Ang maganda niyan, follow up, paano ni-rate yung grave threat ko, no? Okay? Kasi, reliable, validation, right? Unreliable, doubtful, right? Ang ganda ng question, so beautiful.
Sir, kung pwede na pong sumagot.
Go ahead po, go ahead.
Sir, yung una po namin ginawa, we tried to invite Princess Maui to shed light doon sa...
Paano mo nga
sinasabi
ni-rate?
ng Romanov. Since hindi ho nag-appear si Princess Maui, wala ho kaming basis. So classify muna namin ito na non-validated information. Naghanap kami sa open source. Yun nga, ang nakita namin, ang unang nagbigkas niyan, si Mayor Baste. So medyo nakita namin, teka muna, parang baliktad yata ang sitwasyon. Kung kay Mayor Baste nagsimula ang Romanov.
Exactly! So hindi yun oh! Alam mo rin naman pala, baliktad yung sitwasyon. So ibig sabihin, hindi yun! Hindi yun! Correlation doesn't imply causation. Okay? NBI people should know that. So, hindi yon. Salita lang yung parehas. Gets mo rin eh. Oh.
Bakit dito ito yung tinatanong ni Princess Maui sa Vice Presidente? So, medyo it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Kaya hindi sila connected. Pero bakit yun ang inaapilan mo?
Sir, wala kaming na-validate since hindi nag-appear si Princess Maui. So we classify
Alam niya. Di ba?
information as unvalidated
So
information.
what you did, nung hindi mo ma-confirm yung kay Princess Maui information, naghanap ka ng
Opo.
counter source.
Yes, sir. Open source, sir.
Open source, okay, to validate.
Yes, sir.
And what happened to that source?
Yeah, based doon sa video na yun,
Parang parehas nila lagnat. Tapos dahil nilagnat, may kidney failure na. Ganon. Isa kidney failure, yung isa flu. Tama ba, Doc? So ang ginawa mo, parehas nila lagnat eh. Pero magkaiba. So, paano gagawin natin? Ganon yung ginawa mo, tanga. Magkaiba eh. Yung lagnat lang yung parehas. Yung Romanov lang na salita yung parehas. Magkaiba na ng context lahat. Tapos gusto mo i-correlate. Tanga.
January, if I'm not mistaken. Yun nga, yung may isog rally, Your Honor. Ang unang nagbanggit ng Romanov, si Mayor Baste, parang tinatakot niya yung presidente.
Okay,
Doon.
Mr. Witness, I'm running out of time. So isa lang po tanong ko. So yung information po ni Princess Maui dun sa video, yung sinabi niya kay BP, eh hindi po reliable.
Hindi reliable insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Oh, yun lang naman eh.
Senator Judge are noted. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Thank you, Mr.
Lagnat
Presiding
lang parehas, hindi yung cost. Di ba?
Officer, Mr. President. Just a very quick question on this particular topic, and I will no
Gentlemen
longer.
may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will no longer dwell on the Operation Romanov, despite the fact that thank you to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo who told me that about the dates, and I will not even mention or tackle the conditional threat. But I was looking at this NBI letter dated 2nd of December 2024, marked as Annex I. This is prosecution's P4-5 exhibit. Responded Duterte to appear in connection with the investigation of the alleged grave threats. Mr. Witness, nakasaad din po dito sa sulat na iniimbestigahan ng NBI yung mga banta laban sa kanya at makakatulong po dito ang kanyang pagharap sa investigation. Tama po ba ito, Atty.?
Yes po, Your Honor. Tama po yan.
Dahil po hindi personal na pumunta ang ating Vice Presidente, ano po yung naging epekto nito sa investigasyon ninyo sa mga banta laban sa kanyang buhay? Gusto ko lang malaman, ipinagpatuloy niyo po ba ang investigasyon ng NBI? What is now the status of this investigation?
Yes, sir. Since yung second letter ng Vice President through her lawyer, may sinasabi doon na may threats sa life 6 months ago pa. So nung trinay namin i-check yun, Your Honor, ang nakita lang namin relevant information as to the security, yung pagbabawas ho ng 75 PNP personnel from BPSPG, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Yun lang yung nakita nyo? Yan na mismo!
And I think transfer ho yata yung mga personnel na yan sa Manila. And then when we check the record, yun nga, merong pang, based on the COA record, merong pang 335 more or less if I'm not mistaken, na security personnel ng Vice Presidente. So, other than those facts, wala ho kaming makitang relevant na security issue dahil yun nga, hindi naman nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente, hindi naman sila...
Pero entangle yung grave threat, tsaka yung threat sa kanya. Nung binawa siya ng security, lalo magkakaroon ng problema. Doon pa lang may red flag na. Anong katarantaduhan to?
Nagbigay ng any information na pwede namin pagsimulan po. But
So after that, you did not pursue anymore the investigation on the threats against the Vice President?
ang alam ko, ang aming intelligence service ay may monitoring na ginagawa from time to time.
Sino daw?
As threats against the Vice President?
Ang alam ko, ang aming intelligence service ay may monitoring na ginagawa from time to time.
I ask this question, Mr. Witness, and for the
May letter si VP kay General Marbil about dyan. Bakit hindi niya validate yun? Yun nga eh. May letter yun. Ang presidente nga wala eh.
or people. Kasi ang hindi na po yung Operation Romanov, hindi na po itong conditional threat. Kung hindi, ito ba ay nabigyan ng accorded the same level of attention dun sa mga threats
Exactly.
na inyong nakukuha gaya ng
Good question again.
binabanggit natin na threat di umano ng ating Vice Presidente. Kasi ang tanong, hindi rin naman po nagpunta sa inyo ang Pangulo o ang
Exactly.
Speaker of the House, and yet you pursued your investigation. So in that way,
Exactly. Very good question. Very good point, Joel Villanueva. Kahit traitor ka. De, joke lang.
paano nyo ma-explain ito, Attorney Lotoc,
Yes.
na ginawa nyo talaga yung lahat ng inyong magagawa para imbestigahan din yung threat laban sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Opo, Your Honor. Magkaiba po siya. Yung grave threats na inatter ng Vice President against the President, apparent po siya, Your Honor. Nakita po namin. Nasa video, inauthenticate namin yung video, nag-testify yung mga may personal knowledge na in fact sinabi niya yon. So, malinaw ho na nag-exist yung utterances na yon that qualifies the crime of grave threats. Dito ho, sa threat ng Vice Presidente, wala ho kaming ganong same na information na nakuha.
Pero yung mismong, yung mismong tinitreat, may threat, yun yung nakaramdam mismo, nagreklamo. Nakita mo yung double standard?
Wala kaming apparent na mayroong threat against the life ng Vice Presidente kasi nga, hindi sila nagbigay ng specific information, hindi ho nagpakita ang Vice Presidente para mag-shed light doon sa investigation namin. So hindi ho namin siya makita na parehas. Magkaiba po yun. Ang sa Presidente, apparent siya.
Well, technically, magkakaiba naman talaga yan. No case is alike.
So definitely under the law, ang NBI can motu proprio undertake an investigation. Dito sa Vice Presidente, allegation siya, wala kaming ma-validate information. So hindi ho pa magti-trigger yung investigation doon. But I am sure, insofar as the intelligence service of the NBI is concerned, continuous ho yung monitoring yan at naghahanap po sila ng mga lead para masolidify yung information na yan.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I know the law. Presidente, Vice Presidente, Speaker, pwede nyong tingnan at imbestigahan yan. But I feel na importanteng maipakita natin sa taong bayan that the same level of attention.
Pero okay, may point din naman na may apparent crime. Okay? Apparent lang naman, hindi confirmed. Hindi naman certain, right? Apparent lang. Yun yung pino-point out niya kung bakit yun yung binigyan nila pansin at hindi yung iba. Pero apparent nga, tinanggalan nga ng security eh. Nagsulat pa nga sa inyo eh, di apparent din yun. Anak ng tokwa naman, oh.
Attention ang ibinigay po natin at we also, if we need to walk the extra mile of investigating, we have to do it in the name of fairness. So, yun po yung nakita ko and siguro yung sinasabi nyo nga.
Tamo ha, para siya, apparent yung threat sa kanya. Bakit? Sino ba yung pinagbibintangan ng threat? Di ba yung tatlo rin? Yung admin, Presidente, Romualdez, tsaka First Lady. Right? Yun yung pinagbibintangan ng side ni VP. Okay. Ngayon, sabi mo, okay, hindi apparent kasi yung threat na yan. Sure. Okay, granted, hindi apparent at that time. Pero nung pinulaut na yung mga securities, naging apparent na ngayon. Tama? Kasi sila yung pinagbibintangan, tapos sila yung nag-pull out ng security, then apparent na.
O hindi sumapat yung inyong mga nakalap na mga impormasyon, whether the information ay kulang or hindi kayo nagkaroon ng access sa mga information na to, kaya po hindi nagtuloy.
Opo, Your Honor. That is insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Lacson? Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva.
I just want to pursue the point raised by
Ito na Lacson.
Judge Rapi Tulfo and the
The
others.
gentleman may proceed, yes.
I don't know about the other senator judges, pero until today, when Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo clarified na yung palang Oplan Romanov, threat against the first family.
Yes, sir.
Ang impression ko since last week, nung pag-uusapan natin yung Oplan Romanov, threat ito against the Vice President. And since sabi nyo, part ng
yung Operation Romanov. Ang pinopoint ni Rapi Tulfo doon is magkaiba nga. Kulang na lang sabihin na, so magkaibang context yun. So, yeah, okay. So, ang minimix mo? Ano ba? Pinky!
investigation ninyo, open source.
Yun na nga yung pinopoint out kanina na magkaiba yun. Tapos ngayon gusto mo ipilit na parehas yun. Pero threat yun sa presidente, ganun ba? Oh my goodness.
Source, di ba?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Yung bang speech ni Mayor Baste Duterte sa Maisog, naging part pa ng open source nyo yun? In this particular investigation that you conducted?
Hindi po siya nag-form part as...
So kulang yung open source information?
Hindi po kami nakafocus sa Romanov, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Was it also your impression na yung threat do sa Romanov was directed against VP Sara until today?
I don't...
Please Be honest.
Yeah, I think,
Wait. Sabi mo kanina threat, at tinawag na Oplan Romanov. Sinabi mo na kanina ng yes, doon sa defense. Sabi mo doon sa question ni Maui, threat yun sa presidente, vice presidente. Sabi mo yes. Kaso ang context doon, Operation Romanov. So, contextually, paano mo iihiwalay yung Operation Romanov sa threat sa vice presidente? According to that context, based on that context, paano mo iihiwalay? Kailangan mo ng magic para ihiwalay yung context na yun.
Don't be ashamed. No?
yeah, I don't think so, Your Honor, kasi unang-una, ang context ng Operation Romanov against the first family.
I know.
So,
No! Magkaiba yun. Iba yung Romanov na ginagamit as metaphor na ganyan yung mangyayari sa inyo kaysa dun sa Operation Romanov. Hindi ibig sabihin may salitang Romanov is parehas na yun. Sinabi mo kanina, yes, dun sa question ni Maui is threat sa Vice President. Ngayon, contextually speaking, yung pagkakasabi ng Operation Romanov, yung threat kay Vice Presidente, bakit mo ihiwalay yung Operation Romanov? Bakit gusto mong gawin na tanggalin yung Operation Romanov at ilagay sa ibang topic? Hindi pwede yun. Gusto mong i-impose yung interpretation mo dun sa text. Hindi pwedeng gawin yun. Contextually speaking, yung tinatawag na threat doon is Operation Romanov. Doon sa threat sa Vice Presidente. Hindi mo pwedeng ihiwalay yun doon. Anong klaseng magic ang gagawin mo para sabing hindi yung threat sa Vice Presidente?
definitely against the President and his family, Your Honor. Ngayon, nung tinanong ho siya ni Princess Maui, doon na kami nagtaka, anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov? Anong context niya ng Romanov? Bakit? Again,
exactly! Anong context niya ng Romanov? So, alam mo rin, magkaibang context. Ang point lang naman ng Romanov, inisa-isa, di ba? Oh.
Vice President. Hindi naman sila yung first family. So, yan yung reason po, Your Honor, kung bakit we try.
Palagay ko si ito yung tinaymote nyo dito. Bobo rin eh. Ito si Palaman. Romanov nangyari while Operation Romanov, name ng isang Romanov sa kanila Duterte nang galing yan. Bobo! O yan, binanggit mo yung Romanov. Ito, sabihin ko. Ito. Operation Romanov. Operation Romanov. Ang t-shirt na isahin kayo. Parehas ba yan sinabi ko tsaka yun? May Operation Romanov din ako sinabing bobo ka? Parehas ba yan? Pwede mo ba i-connect yan dun kay VP? Pwede mo bang i-connect yung sinabi ko, Operation Romanov, ang t-shirt na iisa-isahin kayo? Pwede mo ba i-connect kay Bastian? Same ka rin pagkakasabi. Pwede mo ba i-connect kay Vice President yan? Hindi! Kasi ibang context, bobo! Puro kasi kayo politika. Utak nyo, political addict. Ang bobo. Ayan, kasasabi ko lang, pwede mo ba i-connect kay Bastian? Pwede mo ba i-connect kay VP Sara yan? Bobo.
To invite Princess Maui na shed us some light para makita namin ano bang ibig mong sabihin noon. Ano ba yung pwede namin i-validate na information para makapag-case build up kami pag meron.
Yes, so bakit hindi...
Ano yung gusto nyo i-case build up at saka ano yung gusto mong i-validate? Yung Operation Romanov, right?
in part ng investigation nyo do sa threat against the life of the President and the First Lady kasi family yung binabanggit ni Mayor Basten, di ba? Hindi kasama yung si Speaker Romualdez, hindi kasama yung Chief Justice.
Opo.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Pero threat against the family, the first family.
Yes, sir.
As mentioned by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ang sabi mo, hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa inyong investigation report or sa affidavit of investigation, yung open source ng maisog.
Hindi po siya nakasama.
Bakit hindi napasama? Open source din yun eh. That could reinforce yung inyong theory o yung conclusion nyo.
Well, totoo naman yan. Kung sinama nila yan, it could reinforce their theory. Tama yan.
Talagang serious threat against
Hindi talaga nag-imbestiga. Diba?
the President and the others. Bakit hindi nyo ginawang part do sa affidavit
Tama yon. Magandang point yon. Kasi pampalakas nga naman yun pag sinama mo yon.
investigation unless pareho tayo na impression na until today, ang alam natin sa Romanov, threat against BP Sara. Yung impression ko since last week, ha?
Yun po yung impression namin nung hindi pa namin nakikita
That's exactly
sa
my question, Attorney Lotoc. So ngayon nyo rin lang na-realize na yung palang Oplan Romanov, threat pala sa First Family.
First Family. Opo, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
Ngayon nyo lang. So may problema kayo sa comprehension. Kasi yun yung ginamit mo kanina eh. Narinig mo yung Romanov dahil doon.
Noted, entered into the records. I would have recognized Senator Go first, but since you're there already, Senator Judge Alan
This
Gaeta,
is a
you may proceed, sir.
manifestation and point of information. As Senator Judge Lacson said, no, it's for each judge to appreciate. But let me put context, no. I'm not close to VP Sara. I'm not close to Mayor Baste. Ang kasama ko sa Congress si former Deputy Speaker Pulong. But in the last 4 years, I think I've seen him twice or thrice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But my reading nung sinabi ni Mayor Baste is pag natulog ka sa gabi, remember the Romanovs. So we have to look at our history. The Romanovs were evicted via a revolution. Diba? So Mayor Baste was doing a parallel ng 1986 na paalis yung mga Marcoses via revolution.
Correct!
Like the Romanovs, the Marcoses were given asylum or whatever you call it in Hawaii, and over time, nakabalik until the president became president. Ang Romanovs, inubos sila para nga hindi makabalik. Now, if Mayor Baste was making Romanovs uubusin kay Marcos, di dapat na-offend si Senator Judge Amy Marcos because she's a Marcos. No? So, secondly, if he made that threat, so if he was saying, may Oplan mo, Romanov or Maro-Romanov kayo, I'm sure the PNP or PS, the Presidential Security Command, the National Council, would have filed a case against Baste. So I just want, it's fair that you mentioned him, it's fair sa investigation mo, but I don't think we should draw a conclusion here that Mayor Baste was threatening the First Family because remember, there's a thin line between a warning and a threat.
Yeah.
So pag sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon, witness, pareho tayo.
Pero you cannot negate the fact yung sinabi ni Ping Lacson na pwede mo nga isama yun. Kasi bakit? Because you can argue it. Yun lang yun. Because it's a perfectly valid interpretation na pananakot. That's why, pwede mo yung isama as para bumigat yung kaso. Make sense naman yun.
Kompanyero, pareho tayong taga-Ateneo, mag-ingat ka sa sasabihin mo. That could be a fair warning. That could be not a threat, di ba? But kapag may threat talaga na pinarating ko sa iyo, pag hindi ko gusto ano mo, kakasuhan kita, that could be a illegal threat, di ba? Pero pwedeng warning. So I just want that on the record, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, because everyone's watching, and in the same manner, we have to be fair to the First Family. We have to be fair also to Mayor Baste and to the Dutertes, that rather than draw a conclusion that there was an actual. So the Council for Defense was making a distinction, mentioning Romanov and Oplan Romanov are two different things. It may be the same, maybe different thing. For all we know.
Exactly. Correlation doesn't imply causation. Okay? Same. Use mention fallacy yan.
Narinig ni Mayor Baste na sila Romanov, kaya binanggit niya pabalik. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I haven't discussed it with the few senators na kaibigan ko dito. So let's just be circumspect and careful from making conclusions. But as far as it is relevant, Mr. Presiding Officer, I appreciate the answer of the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Senator Go, thereafter Senator Padilla. Senator Go, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Balik muna tayo dito sa ating bayan.
Ito na si ano. Totoo ba to? Use mention yun na.
Ang malayo, inabot natin. To our Mr. Witness, some questions lang po, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nabanggit nyo kahapon na 20 years na ho kayo sa NBI.
12 years, Your Honor.
Be specific, anong year po nakapasok?
2014, Your Honor.
2014.
Nagsimula po ako from the NBI Academy.
2014?
2014. 12 years na po, Your Honor.
Hindi 20 years?
Hindi 20 years, Your Honor. 12, Your Honor.
12 years. So, kailan ho kayo nag-head ng cybercrime?
February 2023, Your Honor.
February of 2023. Maupay na adlaw pala.
Maupay po adlaw gyapon, sir.
And to our prosecutor.
May hapon, sir. May hapon.
Maupay na kulop.
Maupay man.
Kailan ho kayo naging RD?
July 2025, sir.
July 2025. So, naging cybercrime head kayo February of 2023,
sir.
Before that, saan ho kayo na-assign?
Chief ng Digital Forensics, sir, 2022.
2020. Anyway. So, meron ba nag-recommend sa inyo? Wala, nag-apply lang kayo? O sino
Nang ano po, sir?
Naging head kayo ng cybercrime?
As Chief of the Digital Forensics, I was designated by the then Director Mitardo J. De Lemos. As Chief of the Digital Forensics, I was designated by the then Director Mitardo J. De Lemos. Then as Chief of the Cybercrime Division, I was also designated by the then Director Mitardo J. De Lemos. Sir.
2016 to 2022, saan ako na-assign?
2016, I think anti-organized crime and transnational crime.
Up to 2020.
AOTCD, Your Honor, din 2018 nasa Cybercrime Division na po.
So hindi po kayo head doon?
Hindi pa, as investigation agent po noong 2018, sir.
Anyway, nabanggit niyo po kanina about sworn affidavit. And then nabanggit niyo about journalist, no, na part ng press conference. Tama ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Marami sila, di ba? Marami nabanggit
yes,
sa mga nakarang araw, including last week, di ba? Bakit ho ba, bakit po hindi kinuha ang sariling sworn affidavit ng mga journalists na personal na naroon po sa press conference? Sa halip ay affidavits po ng agents na naglalaman po ng inyong summary ng mga sinabi po ninyo. Bakit hindi nyo pinursige yung mga affidavits ng mga nandoon sa...
Yes, Your Honor. Nung nag-appear
Magandang tanong din. Magandang tanong ng mga judges
po yung mga media personalities na nag-participate ng online press conference of the November 23, 2024. May kasama ho silang lawyer, and then we want to them to execute an affidavit. Ang advice sa kanila ng lawyer, hindi na raw. Pwede lang sila mag-participate ng interview. Pwede sila mag-sign sa business meeting. So hindi na po namin pinilit.
So wala hong journalists or mga vloggers na kasama po doon sa sworn affidavit? Wala ho. Sa inyo lang, purely puro po ito sa
NBI.
galing sa NBI lang po.
Yes, sir, kasi ayaw po ng lawyer nila na mag-execute sila ng affidavit. Okay. Pero may kasama po silang lawyer doon, sir.
Yung mga detalye pong nakasaad sa inyong affidavit tungkol sa naganap na press conference, galing ho ba ito sa personal knowledge ng mga agents o batay po sa sinabi ng mga journalists na nakausap po ng agents pagkatapos?
Yes, Your Honor. Q&A yung mode nung interview at nag-reflect ho yan doon sa minutes of meeting, and then nag-execute ng affidavit yung nag-interview na agent, so magkasama ho yung mga dokumento na yun, sir.
Mako-consider mo ba ito na second-hand account? Paano nyo masigurong naging actual ho yung pag-interpret ninyo sa mga sinabi?
Ano pong interpret, sir?
I mean, kung batay po ito sa second-hand account, paano nyo masisiguro na sakto, walang naidagdag, o hindi na misinterpret sa pagitan ng aktual na sinabi ng mga journalist at mga nakasulat sa inyong affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why inauthenticate namin yung video mula simula hanggang sa matapos para hindi kami mawala sa tunay na nangyari. That's the reason why transcribe din ng ating agent on case kung ano laman ng video, kung ano yung naging tanungan doon, para hindi kami mawala sa investigasyon namin. And in fact, Your Honor, when we try to establish whether or not nag-utter ba talaga ang Vice Presidente na may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay sa tatlo, na confirm namin ito nung November 26 video, kasi ni-reiterate ng Vice Presidente, inadmit niya, instead na sinabi niya hindi ko sinabi yon, sinabi niya nung November 26 na video na indeed may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay doon sa tatlo. So, nabuo yung aming investigation na ang tawag po namin doon is admission against interest doon po sa ginawa ni Vice President during the November 26, 2024, sir.
Anyway, last question na lang po on sedition. No? How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Ano po yung, sorry,
on sedition charges, di ba?
Yes, sir.
How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Well, in inciting to sedition, Your Honor, specifically in the case of People versus Nabong, it is not necessary na magkaroon ng actual sedition. The law also penalizes if the seditious words would encourage people to do illegal acts or to overthrow government. In other words,
pero paano mo i-reconcile na di-discourage niya nga?
Speeches would stir up the people to go against the government, if the speeches would disturb the peace of the community, if the speeches would undermine public order and public security, hindi ho necessary na magkaroon ng actual na sedition. That's under...
Hindi naman yung question nagawa yung Vice Presidente na yung gaya ng sinasabi niyo ngayon?
Nagawa pong...
Pero ibang topic kasi yan, Bongo eh. Forward na natin, sedition topic na yan. Ayoko yan. Sedition topic na yan. Hintayin mo yung turn mo sa sedition.
Just a manifestation, Your Honor, in relation to the query or the manifestation of Senator Judge Villanueva.
In relation to the query of...
his manifestation, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Proceed, unless he asked you a question to save in the court's time. Please proceed with your cross-examination.
All right, I'll just transform it into a question. You were asked about that December 2, 2024 letter, correct?
December 2, yes, sir.
That is the letter where you gave a schedule for the Vice President to attend, correct?
Yeah, signed by our assistant director.
Right. But the schedule that you gave was November 11, 2024 at 10 a.m. and then you gave the address. So in other words...
Sinabi ko na huyang hapon, typographic error yun, sir.
My question naman is this if tama yung schedule sana at nakapunta si VP Sara, would it have affected your investigation?
Your Honor, even up till now, ready ho kaming tanggapin kung anumang information na threat against the life ng Presidente, continuous, ng Vice Presidente, continuous po yun. In fact, sabi ko nga kanina, yung intelligence service namin is may ginagawang monitoring from time to time dun sa threat to life against the Vice President, President, etc.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Now, let me show you a portion of the interview of Dempsey Reyes of the Philippine Daily Inquirer please direct your attention to paragraph 13 of the minutes of the meeting. This is also the transcription made by Agent Kalilong. Page 173 of Annex G9 as well. So, here, it says, may press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya lang, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. So, considering that this is part of the minutes of the meetings, this is also part of the NBI's own records, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, my question is this. Did you issue a subpoena against Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Did you issue a subpoena? Kay Speaker Romualdez, sir?
Yes.
Kasi, ba't ako mag-issue ng subpoena? Wala pa kaming sufficient na...
So you did not issue?
Hindi kami nag-issue,
Alright.
sir.
So, in other words, for VP Sara, you issued not just one, but 2 subpoenas. But for the former speaker, you did not issue a subpoena. That's just a question.
There is an apparent commission of the crime for grave threats and inciting to sedition, sir.
I see. So, for this particular portion, you just turned a blind eye and did not issue.
No,
anyway,
there is no validated information of that, sir.
Let the witness answer. There was a question.
Wag gano.
Kindly don't argue with the witness.
Wag gano, pre. Argumentative yun, pre. Wag gano, pre.
Based on your testimony yesterday, you said that you have a system of evaluating factors, correct? My question to you is, based on that system...
You see, sabi ko na gagamitin yan eh. Kasi sinabi ni Erwin Tulfo, di ba magagamit yan? Kasi malalaman natin kung paano nila na-rate yun, di ba? Tama, yung system, yung rating kanina, yung kay Erwin Tulfo, ay ang ginagamit ngayon ng Defenso.
Does Martin Romualdez have the capacity to execute a death threat, for example?
We haven't established any apparent crime committed by the former speaker, Your Honor. So hindi kami nag-delve dyan sa issue na yan.
Yeah, at any rate, this minutes of the meeting, which you all confirmed that is part of the NBI's own record, isn't this information regarding the death threat against VP Sara?
Well, ang sabi po dyan, if I may read my press con, kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, sabi lang niya, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her.
Pero sabi mo kanina kasi, ang ginamit mo kanina kasi, hindi lang sa sinabi ni Presidente na nababahala siya. Sabi mo gumamit ka para ibang agency. Ngayon, ba't di mo ginagamit yung same standard dito? May iba nagsasabi rin. Nababahala rin eh, oh.
Ni Speaker, that was during a press conference the day before. Precisely, Your Honor, the reason why we issued a letter noong November 22 is to ask the Vice President kung ano ho yung facts and circumstances dyan sa issue na yan. But since hindi ho nag-appear ang Vice Presidente, wala ho talaga kaming mapagsimulan. Wala kaming validated information.
But you issued the subpoena against Dempsey Reyes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero ang tinanong nyo kay Dempsey Reyes, yung case lang against VP Sara. Hindi niya siya tinanong ng threats to her, correct?
Well, unang-una, ang ini-establish na...
Good question. Oo nga naman. So, ba't di ka nagsupina nga kay Romualdez? Eh yan, tinanong mo lang naman kung ano yung... Hindi naman yung threat sa kanya eh, di ba? Hindi naman sinupina na may apparent anong crime yung ginawa yung ito binigyan mo to. Pero bigyan mo supina. Pero si Romualdez hindi. Bakit hindi? Di ba? Tama. Kasi ang tanong, are you aware of the threats? Di ba? Yun lang nga.
Ang focus ng investigation namin, the reason why we subpoena the late Dempsey Reyes is whether or not nag-utter ba yung Vice President doon sa statement niya na nag-contract na siya ng tao para patayin si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, at si former Speaker. Sir, yun po yung focus ng investigation namin.
So despite that track, you still maintain that this part of the investigation, you did not have bias?
We don't have bias.
Argumentative,
All right,
Your Honor.
I'll move on. Let's go back to the investigation that you did against VP Sara. So you mentioned yesterday that the offended parties in this case, if at all, are BBM, FL, and the former Speaker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you subpoena any of them?
No, sir.
Did they appear before the NBI?
No, sir.
Nakausap niyo ba sila ng personal?
No, sir.
And yet, you concluded that they were victims of grave threats, correct?
Based on the evidence we've gathered, yes, sir.
So without any personal correspondences with them, you came to that conclusion?
The evidence is clear, sir.
According to you.
Oh, objection, Your Honor. I move that... Oh, wait. We cannot let this pass. I move, Your Honor, that the defense counsel, with all due respect, be admonished from stating those...
According to you. Foul nga naman. Sumisingit ka lang ganun.
Professional remarks. We are in front of national TV.
No,
that is his answer. If you are not satisfied with his answer, please don't lay any value to what the witness answered. Your Honor, may I move that the counsel...
This is a reminder for counsel for both parties. Kindly avoid side remarks. Henceforth, the presiding officer will have it stricken off the record. And whatever question you pose and afterwards withdraw will likewise be stricken off from the record, so as to avoid any attempts at showmanship usually seen on TV, yes, but will not be tolerated by this impeachment court.
Tama, maganda yan.
Counsels are so reminded.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
To clarify, Mr. Witness, yung NBI subpoena against VP Sara that you issued was her being a respondent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero as a complainant, you did not issue.
We issued a letter, sir, December 2.
No. As the complainant, na siya yung subject naman ng threats, walang subpoena as to that effect.
Walang subpoena, sir.
So in other words, hindi talaga siya naka-explain kasi what you sent out was a letter and not a subpoena.
Yung letter is to inform the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung threat against the life niya. So therefore, kailangan namin yung presence niya or any information na pwedeng makatulong sa investigation.
Yun na nga, pero hindi niyo siya sinenda ng subpoena. Isn't it that in a regular case, the prosecutor sends out a subpoena both to the complainant and to the respondent?
With the prosecutor, sir?
Yes. You're a lawyer, you know this.
What
When you
material,
file a
sir?
case before the prosecutor's office, the handling prosecutor issues out a subpoena sa parehong parties.
Ang
Tama?
alam ko, during the case sponsor, I think nag-appear yata ang Vice Presidente sa DOJ. Yan,
Alright.
doon ako na-inform.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Let's talk about the reversal by the DOJ. Diba? There was a initial finding on February 5 and then it was eventually reversed. Now, would you agree with me that the rectifications that you made for the first affidavit of investigation were procedural deficiencies?
Procedural deficiencies.
Like the
No,
TSN?
it's part of the case build-up, Your Honor.
But what you added were TSNs, affidavits of your own agents.
Oo, procedural yun.
Correct? Don't you consider that as...
Those were
Hindi, procedural ba yun? Well, hindi ko maintindihan si Atty. Libayan siguro. Procedural ba yun? Kasi content yun eh.
Yes, but don't you consider that those as a procedural and not substantive?
Part of the
Na,
evaluation.
more on substantive nga. Para sa akin, substantive yun. Hindi siya procedural.
On case build-up, yes, sir.
Alright. But in effect, the substance of the case remained the same.
Walang nabago ho sa affidavit, sa una at sa pangalawa, parehas po yun.
Very good.
Sir.
So, in other words, wala kang no additional discussion on the merits of the case.
On the merits of the case, yung findings namin,
Ha! Oo nga no. Teka. Kung wala nagbago sa substance, bakit nung nagbigay kayo nun, may nabago sa substance?
hindi ho nabago yun,
Alright.
sir.
Very good. So, no additional witnesses were interviewed.
What do you mean interview, sir?
Wala nang additional interviews. Kung ano yung sa first affidavit nyo, yun na rin yung sa second affidavit. Wala nang additional interviewees.
Kung, I think, ang naalala ko, 6 ho na media personalities ang na-interview namin at yun ho yung nag-reflect sa nag-reflect sa affidavit. At the same time, we tried to issue subpoena sa, I think, head ng ABS-CBN.
I understand that, but be more responsive.
Your Honor, if I may, the witness is still in the process of answering
Yeah,
his...
but, Your Honor, but the answer is not responsive. Eh. My question is very
Let him
simple.
finish first, with all due respect, Your Honor.
With the permission of the counsel for the parties. Attorney LOTOC, the question was, sa pagitan ng una at pangalawang sinubmit niyo sa DOJ, may mga testigo ba kayong dinagdag sa pangalawa niyong submission sa DOJ? O pareho din po yung mga testigo, nilakip lang yung mga affidavit na hindi na ilakip dun sa unang pagsubmit?
Yeah, so far as I'm concerned, Your Honor, parehas lang po.
Okay.
Alright.
May proceed, counsel.
But we will never know that for sure because you never released your first affidavit of investigation, correct?
Well, I think it's in the DOJ. Ang binigay sa amin yung certification kung ano yung mga requirements na
Well, that's a good point too. We wouldn't know that kasi wala namang proof to compare.
dapat namin comply.
Yeah, but what you attach, when you received the subpoena from the House Committee on Justice, which was used as the basis for the articles of impeachment, the first affidavit of investigation was never included,
Yung
correct?
nag-submit po dyan, Your Honor, sila Agent Kalilong, wala akong idea.
Hindi
dun
dyan.
sa-
Alright, that's okay. So, I have a question about the affidavit of investigation, okay? An affidavit, or I'll just be more specific, your second affidavit of investigation was subscribed and sworn to, correct?
Yes, sir.
On February 10, 2025.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Before who?
Can I check, sir?
Sure.
Witness may consult.
Thank you,
Kayo nga sinor yun.
Your Honor.
Counsel for the parties may assist him.
Gagi, mukhang gotcha moment na naman to.
Your Honor, we'll just confront him with our own.
Subscribe and sworn to before Assistant Director Glenn A. Ricarte. Sir.
Yan yung problema, hindi ng prosecutor yan, di ba?
Do you remember that you subscribed along with the other agents before General Ricarte now?
Yes, sir. May signature kami dito.
Alright. And you did this because the first affidavit of investigation cannot be altered anymore.
What do you mean, sir?
An affidavit, as you know, you are a lawyer. Once an affidavit is subscribed and sworn to, it is a complete document already. Okay? Meaning, even if you take out one page or you add an annex, you already alter the meaning of that document. Will you agree with me?
Your Honor, the process is legal evaluation by the prosecutor and case build-up. So pag nakita ho ng prosecution...
Your Honor, I'm just talking about the nature of the affidavit. I'm not talking
Affidavit
about...
lang. Answer the question. It's a general question pertaining to an affidavit in general, not this particular one.
Ano yung question?
Okay, an affidavit, once you subscribe and swear to it, that already becomes a
complete
if I
document.
may use the term untouchable affidavit in such that you cannot
Alter.
take out one page, you cannot alter one paragraph, you cannot add annex.
Well, I think kung sinabit niya na ho yan officially, sa halimbawa, sa korte, hindi na ho pwede yan. Pero yung process ho namin, yung evaluation, saka case build-up, nag-uusap po ang prosecutor tsaka yung investigator. So sinasabi ng pros, pag may kulang ka, ito. So itong unang affidavit, since may kulang sa mga attachment, ayusin nyo, baguhin nyo, i-comply nyo yung mga requirements. Since yung affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magkukomply pa lang kami, anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10. 2025. So magkaiba ho yung
In
date.
general lang eh. Kaya sabi lang kanina, comprehension naman, sir.
Definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
In other words, when you
evaluation.
subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you
May gray area pa. Oo nga eh.
added documents or pages to it?
Na, ang sabi ko po, sir...
Oo, yun yung sinasabi mo. Yun yung sinasabi mo actually.
February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance.
Definitely babaguhin namin yung date, ba?
Ang affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magkukumply pa lang kami. Anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga,
Wait, what? So you just admitted na kayo yung nagbago, right? Wait, what?
kami sa February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date.
Definitely babaguhin namin yung date. So binago niyo yung date. Huli pero hindi kulong. So kayo yung nagbago ng date, right?
Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
In other words, when you
evaluation.
subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents or pages to it?
Na, ang sabi ko po, sir,
Ang sabi niya?
Kami, ano to? So itong unang affidavit, since may kulang sa mga attachment, ayusin nyo, baguhin nyo, i-comply nyo yung mga
Oh, yan. So baguhin nyo. Kinumplay nyo nga. Tapos?
requirements. Since yung affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magkukumply pa lang kami, anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
So may siningit ka na, tapos binago mo yung date. So kayo yung nagbago ng date. So ba't sinasabi mo, hindi ikaw yung nakapirma? So alam mo rin pala kasi gawain nyo. Definitely ka mo eh.
In other words, when you subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents or pages to it?
Na, ang sabi ko po, sir, ang sabi ng DOJ, may kulang kayong affidavit of authentication, may
Oo.
kulang kayong TSN.
Oo, kaya nga. Huli. Pero hindi
Yun ho yung
kulong.
attach namin doon sa
Precisely. So in other words, you added documents to your January 30, 2025 affidavit?
attachment, sir. Attachment.
So you admit that you added attachments to it?
Part of compliance, doon sa case build-up, at doon sa evaluation na requirement.
Alright,
ng
but
Department
Mr.
of
Witness,
Justice.
isn't it
Your
that...
Honor, again, can I respectfully request
Your Honor,
the presiding
I
officer?
Kasi merong problema. Nag-switch yung body language. What the heck? Kaya pala may kaso yan ng forgery. May kaso ba ng forgery to? Yes, pero pinahaba niya ng yes ang sagot.
Be allowed to proceed, Your Honor.
Be allowed,
Counsel for the respondent, let the counsel for the prosecutors
Your Honor,
finish with his observation or objection.
Can I make a respectful request to the defense to let the witness finish the answer before they propound the next question, Your Honor, please, for orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please.
Point well taken. Counsel, please proceed accordingly. And may I also remind the witness, Attorney LOTOC, kindly answer yes or no instead of ya and na.
Yes, sir. Sorry po.
So that it's clearer for our...
I remember yung incident na na-publish sa news na may dumalaw ng mga di umano pulis sa bahay ni VP nung nagpunta siyang Germany. Di ba useful info na rin yun? Tama. May kaso din perjury kaya pala.
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
proceed, counsel for the respondent.
So you admit that after you subscribe and swear to that January 30, 2025 affidavit,
Dami kaso niyan kayo. May copy si Rose. Totoo ba?
you added documents to it so that it will comply with the requirements of the DOJ. Is that what you're saying?
Attachment based on the requirement of the DOJ, sir.
All right, thank
Yun
you for
ang
that
nilagay namin.
admission.
Okay. In-admit mo ha? Gagi. GG.
Just one last point on this. Can we flash affidavit of investigation? Can we flash page 1? This is page 13, Your Honor, of the AOI's Annex G9 for the benefit or for the guidance of this honorable court. The one that was flashed earlier.
Tech is instructed to do so.
All right, so this is the first page of the affidavit of investigation. Will you agree with me that this was not received by this particular document as is was not received by the DOJ?
I don't have personal knowledge. Ang inutusan ko po dyan, yung executive officers and agent on case na makipag-communicate sa Department of Justice.
But you are a co-sign.
No, wait, what? So hugas kamay ka na naman? Hugas kamay ka na naman, sir?
Co-signer of this, correct?
Yeah, insofar as the content of the affidavit.
All right. And so you mean to say that you didn't cause the filing of this case with the DOJ?
Inutusan ko po ang executive officers at si Agent
Alright,
Pilong
but
na sila mag-process po na dalhin yung referral na yan sa Department of Justice, sir.
At any rate, you're smart enough to peruse the first page and you can see that there's no receipt stamp appearing there too, correct?
Received from DOJ o by DOJ?
By DOJ.
Again, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung nag-process niyan, si Executive Officer.
Pero pumirma ka eh. Pumirma ka eh. Tapos hindi mo nakitang walang stamp.
Yeah, but based on only...
Again, the witness still in the process of answering the question.
Counsel, take it easy. Let the witness complete his answer.
Okay, Your Honor. But based as it appears on this document, this is part of the records and also uploaded in the Senate website already last July 12 so that the public can peruse. Annex GGG, this is page 13. Based on this document and observation, can you notice any received stamp on this document?
Based on that document, wala akong naka-stamp or receipt.
Precisely my point that was attached. If this was really received by the DOJ, there should have been an IDF, right, or a transmittal letter attached to this.
Again, yung makakasagot po niyan, yung executive officers, Agent Calilong, and the prosecution, sir, kasi sila ang nag-uusap dyan.
Parang so pumirma ka lang? Pumirma ka lang na hindi kompleto yan? Ganun ba? Pumirma ka eh. So pumirma ka na walang ganyan, na incomplete. Para kang pumirma ng blank check, ganon.
Nagdala ng dokumento na yan.
Alright, I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of...
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano?
Mr. President, I wanted to take the floor before the defense went to another point, so I wouldn't interrupt his train of thought.
The lady has 2 minutes and may proceed when she's ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is actually addressed to both counsels and to the witness.
Yes, ma'am.
So the witness also happens to be a lawyer. Apat na abogado po tayo mag-uusap dito. Pero ang pakiusap ko, speak in layman's term because we want the public to understand. Very simple question. I want to understand your appreciation of the crime of grave threats. Okay? It sounds like a simple question, but when I look at the elements, so explain ko din sa mga nakikinig. Pag tinignan natin ang definition ng crime, nandiyan yung elements. So the prosecution must always prove yung elements of the crime. Ang question ko ay, in your appreciation, dapat ba na ang supposed victim nakaramdam talaga siya ng threats? Or is it enough that the general public considers the statement threatening? Okay, so is it personal or is it a general sentiment? Now, before I proceed, gusto ko magbigay ng example para rin ng mga kababayan natin. Kung magkapit-bahay, nagkapikunan dun sa bakod, tapos sabi nung isa, bubulohin ko to. Is that a grave threat? Second example, dalawang boksingero, nagkainitan, susuntukin kita. This is among 2 professional boxers. Is that a grave threat? Third example, police. Sabi, bubunutan ko to ng baril. Is that a grave threat? Maybe it's just offensive dahil sa professional law, you shouldn't say that to a fellow police. And my fourth example is a senator. Pag sinabi niyang bibit-bitin kita, kikwelyuhan kita, palalayasan kita, is that a grave threat?
How about kakalad ka rin kita? Di ba sinabi ni Tory yun kay kakalad ka rin ko yan. Di ba sinabi yun ni Tory kay Digong? Ha? Hala.
I'll add some details. If that is supposedly addressed to a fellow senator, and she's a female senator like me, na kahit na hindi naman isang kong kilalang runner, marathoner, but a non-violent person, is that a grave threat? Well, I'll just tell you my personal opinion, and then I'll tell you now. I felt that was a grave threat. So, may I ask the counsel and the witness to now answer the question? Thank you.
If you may, Your Honor, please, yung prosecution po.
Senator Judge Pia, who do you want to answer first?
Good
In the
question.
order that you
Pag-iisipan ko
prefer.
ng matagal yan, Mr. President. I give you the decision on that one, Mr. President. Siguro prosecution, kasi
Yes, po.
sila naman ang kailangan mag-prove ng case nila. And then the witness, and then the defense counsel.
Again, an admonition from the chair, without stating conclusions of fact and law, that again is reserved for the impeachment court, you may state your opinions with respect to the elements of the
Definitely.
crime of grave threats specifically identified
Yes.
by the senator judge.
And if I may, presiding officer, feel free to interrupt them if you feel that they have crossed the line, as I will. That's why I repeat my question. I want to understand your appreciation of the crime. You may, Mr. President, will we allow them to cite jurisprudence? I leave it up to you. I just want to understand the appreciation kasi. What do you think?
Doon sa particular pong katanungan yon ni Senator Judge Pia Cayetano na dapat ba may takot na naramdaman, correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Judge Pia?
Yes.
Yung taong tinatakot o subject matter ng grave threats o pampublikong pagtanggap pa na nakakatakot yung mga sinabi niya laban doon sa taong tinatakot niya.
Siguro a simple yes or no with a very short explanation would suffice, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Attorney Ligutan, you have 2
Maraming
minutes,
salamat,
please.
Senator Pia Cayetano. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon. Yung sagot sa tanong na iyan, yung sagot po ng prosecution, hindi po galing sa opinion ng aking mga kasama. Ito po ay isang decision. No less than the Supreme Court of the Philippines. It just so happened, Your Honors, as an answer, in answer po sa tanong ni Senator Pia Cayetano, may dalawang kaso na po, yung Supreme Court. Yung isa is Paera versus People, Yung GR number, siguro yung mga law students, no? Mga law students. GR number 181626, May 30, 2011. The title is Paera versus People. Sinabi ng Supreme Court doon, wala pong batas na nagre-require na may private complainant. Ibig sabihin, hindi po required na yung biktima mag-execute ng affidavit upang yung akusado po pwedeng ma-found guilty ng grave threat. Paera versus People. But more than that, Your Honor, please.
Okay.
May isang kaso pa. No less than the Supreme Court in the Philippines. Sinabi doon, hindi po kailangan na yung recipient mismo nakaramdam ng takot or that sineryoso yung pagbabanta. Your Honor, to repeat, etong sinabi ng Supreme Court, all that needs to be proven is that they were intended by the accused to have that effect. Yung sagot sa tanong, hindi po galing sa prosecution, hindi po opinion, galing mismo sa Supreme Court of the Philippines, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Mr. President, can
Granted,
we now...
If I may add, Senator Judge Pierre,
Point
I remember
taken.
my memory aid correctly, there are only certain private crimes that need a private complainant, and most of these are personal crimes, such as concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. Although these crimes are all entitled people of the Philippines versus the accused, without a private complainant, these crimes cannot be filed by the prosecutor in court without the cooperation or affidavit of the private complainant. Counsel for respondent will please reply to the query of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano. You also have 2 minutes, sir.
All right. I will try to avoid making conclusions of fact and law, Your Honor, but I will answer in light of the facts of this case and leave it up to the discretion of this honorable court.
Please, sir, you may proceed.
It is our position that the statements made by the Vice President were not threats in the first place. That's why we were categorizing it as response, a mere response to a Q&A. Number 1. Number 2,
Tsaka pwede mong i-argue na ang intended na purpose noong statement na yon is to repel threats against herself. Right? You can argue that. So, mawawala ka doon sa framework na sinasabi ng prosecutor kanina.
it was never aimed directly at BBM, FL, and the former speaker. In other words, had they not watched the video, for example, they wouldn't have known about it. So in other words, Your Honor, there was no threats to begin with. And so even the discussion on the elements is not really applicable insofar as determining the innocence or guilt of the Vice President. That is basically our position. That is one more thing. And practically, we maintain this position all throughout our pleadings. We never referred to that statement as threats. We always say that if at all they were alleged threats. But we referred to the statements of the Vice President as statements, as responses. And even in my speech, that's what I said. It was a response, Your Honor. That would be all, Your Honor.
Noted. Attorney LOTOC, your response to Senator Judge Pia's question based on your investigation. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. In establishing, Your Honor, whether or not the crime of grave threat exists, we follow the rule, first, whether there is an actus reus, and then second, whether there is a mens rea. So actus reus, Your Honor, means whether the offender in fact uttered the threatening remarks. We were able to establish that. That's why in-authenticate po ng NBI yung video na kung saan nandun yung utterances. The test of mens rea, Your Honor, what we did, we interpret the utterances objectively and in the light of the circumstances.
You interpret it objectively? Okay. I'm interested.
In which they were uttered, in the test objectively, and in the light of the circumstances in which they were uttered, in the manner in which those utterances were spoken, the person to whom they were addressed, the utterances.
How did you do it objectively, though?
Addressed, the relationship between the parties, meaning the offender and the recipients, and then the reactions of the recipient.
I think yung ibig niya sabihin sa objectively is semantically, no?
Whether
Hindi pragmatically.
they treat the utterances serious or real. But again, I would agree with what Attorney Ligutan said. In fact, ang basis po namin dyan, yung Garma versus People. Ang isa ho doon sa sinabi ng Garma versus People, hindi ho kailangan na ma-intimidate o itrato ng recipient na seryoso yung threat na yan. Ang sufficient na maipakita lang na yun yung intensyon ng offender, na ma-intimidate at i-treat na seryoso yung utterances or threatening remarks na ginawa niya. Yun po yung naging basihan po namin, Your Honor.
I hope that satisfies Senator Judge Pia Cayetano.
It actually does, but if I still have time, I have a follow-up question for all. Do I? Well, anyway, everyone went overtime, so since my bell hasn't
No, you
rung-
don't, but you can ask your final question, madam.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up. Siguro sa witness na lang. You mentioned the word threat, no? So can you just elaborate on that? What to you would be the difference between a threat
And a warning.
and a threat and a sorry. I don't know if you uttered the word that I want to ask you now, no? But you did. You referred to threat, of course. What would be the difference between a mere warning and a threat?
I mean, warning, threat, ma'am.
At what point does a warning become a threat?
Well, Your Honor, if I'm going to, based on our investigation, kung i-apply ko ho yung,
Hindi na.
yung,
You don't have to. Just asking you your legal opinion. You're a lawyer. He may answer. Is it not correct, Mr. President?
I think,
If he knows.
just in my own opinion, although, warning is, maybe there is a, what we call an event-based condition. Pwedeng ganon na, pag inulit mo.
Event-based condition? Event-based condition. Wait, what?
What we call an event-based condition. Pwedeng ganon na.
So, kapag ka warning event-based condition, so, warning pala yung ginawa ni VP Sara. Ganun ba?
Pag inulit mo to, itong gagawin ko sa'yo.
So, event-based condition. So, warning pala yung ginawa ni VP Sara. Why are we here? Why are you here?
Pwede hong warning yon.
Di ba ganun yung threat?
Yung threat, Your Honor, pag ang threat is with a condition, pwede ho siyang mag-fall ng ganon. Pag sinabi ng threat is, pag ginawa mo to, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo, papatayin kita, papatayin ko yung pamilya mo, papatayin ko yung ganyan. So para siyang nag-overlap, depende sa appreciation.
Pero that's event-based condition, right? Trojan ata yan.
For us, ng investigator, Your Honor. But in so
Lang
far,
niya kapangit.
the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, what we did is we established the elements of the grave threats based on the surrounding facts and circumstances, and then
Warning nga talaga.
we conclude that indeed nag-violate ho ang ating Vice Presidente.
Attorney Lotoc, warning in Filipino is babala.
Yes, opo.
Threat in Filipino is banta.
Yes, opo.
Kaya di ba, babala, bawal magtapon ng basura dito. Warning.
Pwede po yun, sir.
Di ba? Ang tanong ni Senator Pia, kailan nagiging banta yun?
Well, depende sa konteksto siguro, Your Honor.
Baka gusto mo sabihin is ganito. Ang babala is bawal magtapon ng basura dito. Ang banta or papatayin kita. Or uubusin ko ganito. Ang babala, bawal magtapon ng basura dito. Okay? Now, ano yung banta? Pag dinagdagan mo yon ng bawal magtapon ng basura dito dahil papatayin kita pag nahuli kita. Banta. Yung kanina, babala. O ngayon, ito problema natin. Bawal tumawid dito na kamamatay. So, yun ay babala, right? Pero may banta ba yun? Pero palagay ko magiging banta yun kung bawal tumawid dito, papatayin kita, mamamatay ka. Siguro yun ang ibig sabihin. No? Warning lang yun. Kapag nakamamatay, warning lang. Pagka mamamatay ka, banta. Tama ba? Tano to.
I-warning din po kasi na I warned you. Nasabi ko, pag inulit mo to, ito nang mangyayari sa'yo. May konteksto ho na ganun, Your Honor. Na somehow nag-overlap siya doon sa elements ng grave threats.
Paala. Minamadel nila ang wording na conditional sa batas sa grave threat para malito.
Conditional na sinabi na pag ito ang nangyari, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo. So, depende ho sa konteksto, Your Honor.
So depende sa konteksto, sa delivery, sa taas ng boses, gaano kagalit, may kapasidad.
Yes po.
Maraming bagay.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Senator Judge Pia?
Yeah, so in other words,
Your witness.
it depends on the circumstances surrounding the incident or at the time that
Yes,
the
yes, ma'am.
utterance was made.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so laging contextual. Okay, maraming salamat sa lahat. I just want to emphasize
Oh,
na
contextual
Mr. Presiding Officer, I posted my question to each of the counsels and the witness precisely so that tayo masabihan na may bias, isa lang yung binibigyan natin ng opportunity to explain their side. I really genuinely just wanted to know what their appreciation of the definition of grave threats is. Thank you so much.
We thank the good Senator Judge for intervention. All of the comments are noted. Counsel for the respondent. Proceed with your cross when you're ready.
Alright.
Papart na lang natin, guys. Hanggang 3 oras na tayo. Galbesin nyo lahat.
Alas 7 pa lang, gising na ang phone ko. May bagong post na naman, keyboard warrior mode na ako. Kapit Facebook ang almusal, feed ko'y umaapaw sa opinion at analysis. Walang atras sa bante, sige sabay-sabay. Lahat ng nakakita, may kulay na pula o dilaw. Lahat ng balita may agenda, hindi na ako naliligaw. Ilang score pa ba? Ilang debate pa? Sige ibato mo lang, tatanggapin kong lahat. Ilang point pa ba? Ilang argument pa? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Di ko maintindihan. Political addict, di ko lagi addict sa politika. Buhay ko'y eleksyon, walang neutral na punto. Sa naman tumingin, gobyerno ang may kasalanan.